That's in just a jiffy.
All right.
As we're on the fly as usual.
Checking in here. Hey, we've got a live connection finally.
We are recording also.
Yep. So, I'll introduce this properly. Welcome, welcome, welcome to match number 6, live from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Brian Fuller Jr., this is the third bowler up, getting a spare. Nickerson with a 9.
Lucas just turned 23 years young. He's from Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia. 113 average, high season average 117, high single 171, high triple 435 out of Super Bowl. Born since 3 years old. He's on lane 32.
Yep.
Beautiful ball. Still going, still going. Strike. How about that one? Breaks the Bermuda Triangle. 19 plus 2 through 2. Meanwhile, Brian Fuller Jr. on the spare. It's 8. 18 through 1. Brian's high single 224. High triple 474. He's 41 years young. From Newburyport, Massachusetts. Beautiful town. Originally from Kingston, New Hampshire. Next New Hampshire. Nearby. Fuller takes a 9 for the ball to go, I believe. So try to get the 28 through 2. Greg Gouillart on the technology and the score cam doing a second string announcing today as well.
Now live, just now. We started quick, sorry.
And Fuller had a 10, Greg, right? So 28 through 2.
Yep, that's it.
Fourth ball is now Jon Winchell. Hall of Fame eligible from Brentwood, New Hampshire. Bowls at Exeter Lane, Shooter Sports Club, New Hampshire. Great place to bowl there. Since 1946, 6 lanes. That is 6 lanes in 1952. And a great owner, one of the best in the game, Rob Ficarra Sr. Hosting a Sunday Pro League once a month. Garrett Martin on the right side of the lanes. Has the 1 on the 4.
Bit of a technical issue that may have been causing some buffering.
Jon Winchell, 8 and the 9. See if we can get that wood to kick over. Sorry, Greg.
Made a bit of a fix that hopefully should improve the video quality.
Mike Brown, Shawn Baker on deck, the anchor bowlers. Martin, he got it off the wall, spare to start his first of 3. 2 points for a win, 1 for tie, 2 for total. Our final match of the day. Winchell, good bid, won't go. We start at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning Eastern time, 10 o'clock Atlantic, 10:30 Newfoundland time. Shortly after, John, good pinner, just missed by a smidge for a 9. Greg will give an update on all the scores, the mark situations, when every 2 boxes are completed by all 5 bowlers.
Getting my bearings.
This is day number 2. We have 3 matches tomorrow. We have 2 on Friday, then the quarterfinals Friday night. Or late Friday afternoon into Friday night. And the semifinals and finals right here on Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube in high definition. Free to subscribe, never a charge. Martin, 6 in the fill, 16 through 1. Winchell, 8, 4 in the 10. Tough break. Garrett, 113 league bowler, 127 his peak average. High single, 190. High triple, 454. He's only 30 years young. Trying to get the horses to go, but he missed left. Garrett's parents also were bowlers. Winchell tries to send it over, almost. The ball still in the lanes. Hit that pin like a pinball machine, but couldn't quite get there.
At least the ball didn't stay on the plate, otherwise that would have been someone walking out there.
That's a 10 for Winchell to start his match.
Pace of play.
Candlepin Bowling Network, a sport for almost any age. People in their hundreds bowl. It's unbelievable. Get the word out about this great game at Candlepin Bowling. Nothing like it at all. Anybody can bowl at just about any age.
just thought of a way I might be able to differentiate these teams very, very slightly.
Mike Brown for Abel. Halifax, Nova Scotia. He just turned 39 in October. Got a 2-8 half western corner post with bunch formation of wood on the left. Shawn Baker crossing over. He's in parallel time plus the 7. Parallel pins left to right. 5'9", 6'10". A plank in front to the right, 2 to the left. Mike has a high single of 196, high triple of 467. Tries to send it over and miss the object pin, the 2.
This is the last match of the day, but 3 more matches tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Baker, what a shot for a spare. He's all fired up.
Live from Nashua.
Mr. Bud Light, 10 on the ball.
Team Bud Light from the Mixed Worlds.
Lives in the Bradford section of Haverhill, Mass. The Academy Lanes Pub, 125. Great owners in the DeBurrow family. Steady 120-plus bowler year in, year out. He's got an eye pump and high single of 213. He's got impressive stats. High triple of 493. High 5, 793. And a high 10 of 1508. Al Johnston has the world record for 10 strings, 1525. He's in the Candlepin Hall of Fame class of 2023 and the founder of Candlepins for Cancer, the bowler's 501c3 charity. Baker, nice ball, 9, 19 through 1, the first of 3. Nations 5 Venmo, Candlepins number 4, cancer.com. Also a check can be sent. The address on the website, Candlepins number 4, cancer.com. You can also sign up for upcoming roll-offs. Example of Riverwalk Lanes, Amesbury, Mass. Open roll-offs, men and women, scratch. Mid to late January. Candlepins number 4, cancer.com. 501c3 charity. Baker missed that chance for 2 in a row.
Nine box and 9.
Now 2 9s, Baker 9, 28 through 2. Update from Greg Gouillart as we go back to the top of the order. They switch sides.
Thank you, Paul Grant. We have 119 to 100. Yep, as the score right now. Once much aside, you notice that, yes, we have 2 green teams here, but you see how sort of the shoulder yoke of Abel has those white, that white hem on the shoulders there. I've indicated that with the white outline. That's, I think, the best we'll be able to do right now.
How about X marks the spot in their back?
Interesting.
Top of the order, Ryan Cox on left, Aaron Spiller on the right. Aaron Spills 4. Check mark right, 4, 7 left, triangle left, 2 middle, 4 left, 5 right.
Spills it. Aha!
Aha. Aaron for a spare, tough leave, still is.
All right.
Ryan Cox is 22 years, just a baby.
Okay, this should be correct now.
Off the wall, will it go? Not quite.
I just gave it the Massachusetts driving hand of like, what are you doing, bud? Palm upturned, you know. Come on, 5-pin. Do your job.
Please put your directional lights on. 8 for Spiller, 10 for Ryan.
What'd you do,
Cox.
run out of blinker fluid?
Really?
Come on, pal.
I always said in the 8th day, God invented directional lights. Cox 32 through 3, Aaron Spiller 26 through 3, first of 3 strings, final match of the day. It's gone by fast, Greg.
Yes, it is. And my commute would go by faster if we had trains. Plus, I wouldn't want to. Plus, we'd have fewer trust issues with other drivers.
I love a helicopter.
Well, then we'd just have air traffic control free for all.
Like
you think ATC is stressful now? Just you wait.
1 strike for Able Construction. Nothing from Maria Subs right now. Maria's up 17 right now. Ryan Cox, 125 average, 123 is peak average for a season. High single, 195. Excellent high triple of 508 and a high 5 of 705. Easter Classic through a 25-60. I love how people sign for bowling leagues. Check this one out. At the age of 6, one day he was sitting on the living room floor. His father came home from work and told him he signed him up to bowl youth bowling. So he was kind of forced into it like Aaron St. Cyr, the rock star. And I think he appreciates that now, looking back. Pretty good for 22 years old stats.
So there's a question here. They've gotten the fill somehow incorrect on Cox's score. He should have 32 through 3, but they're trying to enter that in as fast as they can on the keypad here. Gives us a chance to go over the format. This is the World's Team Tournament here. Annual competition alternating between the United States and Canada. Here we are in Nashua, New Hampshire. Last year it was in Moncton Fairlanes Bowling Center in Moncton, New Brunswick. 2 divisions of 12 teams, round robin style within those divisions. Top 5 teams based on points and pinfall make it through. That's for winning the strings in total. And
teams
top 5 make it through. Top one seed gets a 2-round bye, and then a knockout bracket follows from there. 3 string matches, no points awarded, and whoever survives each goes on to the World's Final.
That'll be Saturday afternoon, short afternoon time on Candlepin Bowling Network and Candlepin Corner on YouTube. Joining us, joint venture. Back to live action. 3-5-6 triangle for Spiller. Cox, half Worcester, 2 in the 8. Spiller picks up spare. Likes that shot. 40, make it 36 in the ball. Is it? Or 26 in the ball? I can't read that scoreboard, sorry.
Yeah, it's 36 in the ball and a matching spare by Cox.
30, make it 42 in the ball through 4, each on spares. Second ball is now. The Tornado touchdown time. Tim Douglas, 28 through 2. Glen Murphy, 18 through 2. As Greg is all choked up about this match. Douglas powers 8, 9 to 10. Wood trying to stay in play. Will not. Oh, it does barely stay on. Murphy, look at this leave. 6 and 7. No Wood, no luck.
Just got that correct. Cox 47 through 4. That's the official score. Murphy with a bit more of a chance at this if Glen can trampoline off the Wood.
Oh, just spun around for the 9. Good bid there by Murphy. Glen's a 118 league bowler, high single 189, high triple 463, high 5 685. The best bowlers here all week long in the World Tournament. Leda Lanes, Nashua, New Hampshire on Candlepin Bowling Network. Tornado 10, Tim Douglas 38 through 3, Murphy a 10, 28 through 3.
147, 137.
Glen at a Bears Road Bowlerama. Almost 30 years of Candlepin bowling. His parents also bowled. Enjoys bowling in the Worlds. Who doesn't? High energy, a lot of adrenaline flowing. Tim has a triangle of his own, 2, 4, 5. Ooh. Look at this shot, half Worcester. It's hard to get in your second ball, it seems like, versus your first. It seems so much simpler in your first ball. That's the 2 and the 8. Douglas spare. Second mark, 48 in the ball through 4. Object pin won't carry to the 8, the sleeper pin for Glen Murphy.
Seemed pretty full going down. Too bad. I suppose in retrospect it's more of a right to left break across the face of it.
And Murph gets a 10, 38 through 4.
No mark, 38, only 2 pins left standing.
Brian Fuller Jr., 28 through 3. Lucas Nickerson on a strike, 19 plus 2. Fuller 28 through 2. Lucas shoots in 2.6 Ram bowling balls into soccer and Candlepin bowling.
Just some wood clearance here, and now up to Brian Fuller Jr. and Lucas Nickerson on a strike. Fuller gets rid of 7 pins to 1, 2, and 4.
Lucas on a strike. Look at this one. 4-1 split. Don't see this too often. The 5-1, 4-1 split, 5 standing. 1, 2, 4, the 5 and the 10. Fuller for a spare. He will not get it. He's up to 4. It's not his second mark. Nickerson trying to kick it over. Great bid. 8 on the strike. 27 through 2. First of 3 strings, our final match of today. Match 3 of 3. Brian rolls right for a 9. 37 through 3. Lucas Nickerson, a 9. 36 through 3. Garrett Martin, Jon Winchell in the on-deck circle, the 4th bowlers.
No, we're good. Yeah, scores are fine. Yeah, no, the scores are fine, Paul. I was just a little annoyed with how slow I am to update these marks, but that should be correct. 2 open spares to 1.
You're doing a great job. It's very fast-paced, and it's hard to see.
Well, it's good. We want to be home in time for dinner, after all.
What's dinner?
You know, typically at one point, at a certain time of day. Some call it supper, but apparently that term is confusing in other regions of the world. Anyway, that's boring. How about the safe drop?
Fuller denied the spare with the wood. Lucas Nickerson has a clean shot.
Like, apparently dinner and supper has a nuanced difference depending on where in at least the United States you go. I have no idea about up north.
You're right. You don't have supper that much. You said New England supper. And he just missed inside, not by much.
How'd you find that gap?
Fuller takes a 9. 46. Make it 46 through 4 in the first. And a Paul Grant special for Lucas Nickerson. Missed the second shot, make the third for a 10. Never a good time for that unless you're winning. Greg nods his head in agreement. 46 through 4.
Oh, no, you've got the headset where you hear my... Anyway.
Okay, 2 marks to 1 from Rhea Subs. They're up 1 single pin. 2 terrific teams. Winchell bounces left center diamond plus the 10. Hall of Fame eligible Jon Winchell. Garrett Martin, 1, 2, 4, the 9 and back. Winchell trying to pull it off, almost. In his 50th year of Candlepin bowling, Jon Winchell. His grandmother and his family responsible for getting him bowling. I don't think he was forced into it like some other people were. Right on.
Should be for a 10, I believe. Yes.
29 through 3. Garrett a 9. 34 through 3.
Just getting acclimated here to the statistics here. 5 marks to 4 in the early going. So Maria Subs off to a slight advantage, but that extra mark, remember to look between total and game. You see that extra Canadian smudge there. So the second mark, I guess, and Tim Douglas, the second bowler, will be more instrumental in generating a difference, at least at this early stage.
For the Friday Night Pro League Game of the Week on Candlepin Bowling Network. No match this Friday due to the World Tournament here at Leda Lanes, Nashua, New Hampshire. Scheduled match pending approval. Academy 1. Josh Yelly, Central 3, who just threw a 440, was it? Last match. Scheduled November 15th, 7:30 p.m. live on Candlepin Bowling Network and YouTube in high definition.
Ooh. Garrett Martin, 3-pin punch out. One 7-10 for Jon Winchell. Great to see you all here. Thanks for finding your way here. First few frames are cut out, but we will get this recording spick and span. And the lineups entered in as well, as soon as we get a chance. Or actually, did I remember to enter the lineups? I did. Hooray. Winchell gets 9, excuse me. And an 8 for Martin, 42 through 4. 194 to 191. Brings us down over to Shawn Baker and Mike Brown. Abel used to go by Abel Construction, but dropped construction from its name. The company does more than just that. Baker got his head pin too bad, setback leave. Has a sweeper that's going to disappear as well. Brown has the 2-4-7, 3 for 3 on the head pin. No dice for Baker. Brown. Ooh, just a 4-7. Good to see you, Ben and chat. And James and Ange. And Nico as well. Nine box and a 10 box. The 2 pin still, so still waiting to see if another mark changes the complexion here. Otherwise, Maria Subs should still be maintaining a single-digit lead in the early going. Remember, 2 points for the winner of each string and 2 for total. Anytime split those points, which is yet to happen on this featured pair as it happens, in any case. Three and 2 split. So Baker also 4 for 4 on the head pin, like Brown is. Mike Brown facing the 3 and 2 split, 2-4-7, and then the 6-10 with Wood in front. Got it. Brown can't overcome this dastardly split. And Baker does pick up that extra mark, and now Maria Subs with a 3rd extra mark. Shawn Baker originally on Team Lucky Strike. He was finalist for them in 2022. And they lost to Team Academy Lanes, who you saw just a moment ago, against 2023 champion, A+ Accounting. Take a look here, 213 to 210. 3 marks to 1. 2 extra marks, so Baker and Douglas picking up the extras. In this first of 3 strings. Leda Lane's a fantastic bowling center. Both 36 bowling lanes, arcade in the middle, and Kegler's Den as well. Great food and drink and other activities as well.
We're trying to get Greg Gouillart to do karaoke Friday and Saturday nights, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. He's not having it. Hidden talent, I think.
Well, that makes you and my wife, and I don't know about anybody else.
Top of the order.
There we go. Cox just 2 of those 3 pins.
And he's up to 5 and the 9. Both run spares. It's 2 marks to none for Maria Subs right now. Tied right now in the string. Maria Subs has a virtual lead on the bonuses coming up. 9 and 9. Spill of 47. Cox 63 at the half.
Yep.
If you want to nominate someone at the Candlepin Hall of Fame, they must be nominated by February 28th, 2027. Get them in as early as possible. Go to the ICBA website for the form. Hall of Fame induction ceremony later that year, October 2027. Must be nominated, so anybody from the past, wherever they live, try to get them nominated.
It's my sincere hope that either the ICBA or the forming Candlepin Bowlers Association, also President Dave Barber, just like the organizer of the Worlds, hoping that they'll be able to incorporate Canada as well and make sure that truly the full international umbrella of the sport is represented, because I have a feeling there are a lot of famous Canadian names that just we haven't heard of this side of the border, and it's a darn shame and a pleasure to get to know many of them now.
Cox another spare, 73 in the ball through 6. We might need a separate Candlepin night for the Canadian Hall of Fame for Canadians for the first time. So many of them. Aaron knocks his down. He's got a spare. 57 in the ball through 6. 3 marks to 1 from Maria Subs. The match is tied here in the first. 236, 236.
But indeed the extra marks, and here comes one of them now from Tim Douglas.
Talk about talent and mental toughness. This guy has it. He threw a 96 the ISBA Championships, the Big 20 in Scarborough, Maine, not last month, and he came back with a 169 second string. And he had the lead going in substantially, but lost it with a tough 5th string to Tim Seuss, who was red hot in that 5th. Douglas almost a strike on the spare, 9, 57 through 4. Glen Murphy, 38 through 4, coming to this box. 4 horsemen in the post. And right in the hole.
So a big advantage generated by Tim, especially if he can get this single. Good. Oh, the cheer him, a mock cheer. That's brutal.
67 and +1, all trying to keep it light.
I think it's a bit of a harsh reputation following Tim Douglas about his accuracy around singles, which is peculiar. Maybe there is a bit of a rut he's in right now, but generally a very straight, very accurate bowler.
Glenn, 44 at the half, staying in. Glenn, Greg, substitution policy, please, for our viewers just tuning in.
Can go in before the halfway point in a string and not on a mark, but Glen Murphy staying in, so he is now committed for the rest of this game.
Douglas dropping 6.5. 73.5.
That's what 3 marks will do for you in the half.
And there's a shot. He's fair. Murphy's 54 and a ball through 6. Needed that one. Douglas chops out 1. The Augusta, Maine special, I call it the 1710 Sports Center. Mark Carrier's house. Great job he's done the last 2+ years owning that place. Lousy lead, but a great name for a bowling center. About 45 minutes from all play in Belfast, Maine. Paul and Lynn Dyer's house.
Always fun to see the 1710 go.
Douglas snuck inside for a 7. 80 through 6 on Candlepin Bowling Network. Let's pause 11.4 seconds for station identification from the soothing sounds of Greg Gouillart.
Hi, I'm Greg Gouillart, and you're watching Candlepin Bowling Network. I'm alongside Paul Grant on behalf of a great cast of characters here that makes our coverage possible both on this side and on the other side. Please pull down the YouTube description and scroll down beyond the rosters so that you know more. Anyway, we're at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. You'd have known that if you pulled down the description. And please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified about our future videos. And only now that they're bowling will I stop talking.
Both bowlers 46 through 4, 2 marks, all spares for both sides. 16-pin lead for Maria Subs.
Ooh.
Brian Fuller bombs away, baby, strike. 56.5 +2.
Isn't that interesting? The 5 and 7 just fell in tandem. It was sort of like synchronized diving. That wood just hits the 6 instead. Nickerson, no mark. Nova Scotian provincial flags on the back of the shirts.
Try to get 1 and snuck inside for an 8. 54 at the half.
New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, the primary provinces of Candlepin bowling, but we've had some Alberta representation as well.
Yeah, the 5-pin bowler.
And 5-pin bowling, yes, indeed, a more widespread game across Canada. It's one I would like to try one day. Also another small ball game of accuracy. The pins add up to a value of 15, so if it doesn't strikes, it's still a perfect game, but gets you 450. They have a nice streaming channel there. They've got multiple camera angles. Kind of aspirational goals, to be honest with you. I like our steady cam, but man, I wish I had the bandwidth to do producer camera angles as well. And I know Bob Lee is saying like, well, you know, you got to get the camera panel there. Got to get it all set up. And you got to knock them all down like Lucas Nickerson for his second strike.
64 +2 through 6. Brian Fuller Jr. trying to double up his strike, but too far left. 1, 6, 10. The 3 probably better off standing. So there's a chance that Wood behind the 1. Another solid start. He's been bowling great all week.
Hey, if it looks like, it smells like, it must be.
Close here in the first.
Not sure I've marked that there, excuse me.
And he wraps around the 6. 9 the strike, 55.
Yeah.
Here's the score for Fuller. 2-5. Or is it 65?
Yep, 65 at the half, and I got squirrely there.
And then
10 in the
it's
box,
a 10 in the box,
75.
so 75, all caught up. 27-pin lead for Maurice, our biggest lead right now.
Because it's 9 marks to 7 right now. Now Abel does have the extra mark, which is going to reduce that margin somewhat. Pinning is pretty much even as well, but all these fills, save for an unlucky spread eagle by Spiller, or a punch out anyway on the split, have all been pretty much good.
3 broadcasts tomorrow, Thursday morning, starting at just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Atlantic. For those in Newfoundland, 10:30 time, and 6 o'clock in Vancouver, British Columbia. I got it right. Winchell 2-1 split. Garrett Martin looking at the 1 and the 3. This is an easy one, but only goes just a hair over 1 every 2 times. Stats by Candlepin Bowling Network. It goes 51.01 times now. 52 and a ball through 5. Winchell stuck with a 2 and the 6. Just turned 51 recently in September. Just sails left for an 8.46 at the half.
Good match here, good crowd. You do not all fit here at Leda Lanes. Big as the bowling center is, boy, I think this would get crowded in a hurry. We'd all be bustling past each other, but north of 200 here watching just in this instant on YouTube, and hundreds and thousands more of you, including those of you who subscribe. Thank you very much on behalf of us and all the bowlers and organizers. Martin
Thin hit 3, 5's the wild, 5-5-5, 55 through 5. Would love a bigger fill, obviously. Jon Winchell, Jon, going back, right side. These are the 1 and the 9. He's got Wood behind him, maybe help. Martin trying to work out this mess. And look at this, 1-5, Center Worcester, 8 and the 9. I've seen a lot of these lately for some reason. Winchell up the wall, comes back for the 9. All fired up, spare. 56 in the ball through 6.
King of the Palace on YouTube calls Garrett Martin's leave the flux capacitor.
Back to the Future reference. I love the scientist. He was hilarious. I thought he was the funniest one in the movie, Christopher Lloyd. A 6 for Martin, just 61 through 6. Tough break there.
And who did you say looked like? No, leaving it. 26 pins.
Shawn Baker, 47 in the ball through 4. Mike Brown sitting at 37 through 4 in Nashua, New Hampshire. 1, 2, rolling 7, holds up in the 10.
Only the first head pin miss for Brown.
Baker in the bonus on the crossover, 9. 3 pin remains, 56 through 4.
2 19 boxes.
What a shot, almost.
Ooh.
2 pin left up.
Trying to go outside on it, in effect.
Baker, another spare. 66 in the ball through 5. Who is this guy?
That's a Jordan Britton all over it.
Mike Brown, 10, 47 through 5.
No mark, 47 half.
Made the playoffs 3 straight years in the Worlds, 2019, 2020, and 2021.
Fun fact, Jordan Britton was supposed to call the 2022 Worlds final just like he is doing it in the 2024 final, but he was too busy winning it instead with Academy Lanes.
Brown, a defensive player in baseball, great defensive player, goes in the offense here with 9. Baker spinning 9. Will it go for a strike? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Alas, Baker will have to content himself with a third 19 box.
You could say a paltry 75 half.
Actually, he's written 9 in every single frame, although the other 2 were markless 9s.
Brown on the board, spare. 57 the ball through 6. The defensive player going the other way. A two-way player now, you could say. Baseball and bowling. Baker, another one.
I didn't know you could run options in
85
Candlepin.
and the ball through 6. Update from Greg Gouillart, top of the order.
44 pins. And look at all these marks stacking up here. Maria's subs now up 12 marks to 9. 3 pins extra in pinning, but the fill quality on those marks as well, very significant. All those 19 boxes that Baker is getting is cementing a huge advantage for Maria's.
And what a luxury. Craig Holberg a little injured right now, semi-injury, and Bob Wickham also ailing a little bit. They're not bowling this time. It's just a deep bench. And have the luxury of having Shawn Baker on your team. They made a run in the playoffs last year, got ousted, I believe in the quarterfinals or semifinals, was it? Semifinals, I believe, against, I forget offhand. But they're always up there every year with Lucky Strike and so many other teams, A+ Accounting and others. Outlaw Rides, many others. Ryan Cox on the left on a spare. It's going to be 9. 10 pin for another one. 78 through 6. Spiller leads up the 8.
That'll go for 9. And that will be a 9 as well. Cox out of the gutter on that one. 9 box and 9 box. .366, looks like 324 actually. Cox is apparently 1 pin higher. He didn't give him enough credit. Oh no, we're back to 87 and we had it corrected. Yes! Aaron Spiller, 7, 9, and 10, split. Ryan Cox, we have Ryan Hogan and Ryan Cox both off the same foot. 3, 5, and 10. Wood's pretty flat. That doesn't make it terribly helpful for deflecting the 3 pin, but if the ball hits the right direction, then the plank makes the 5 pin easy at least. Spiller takes a good crack at that one, but all that's left is Wood swiveling in front. Cox, way outside thin on the 3 pin.
No worries about that, Lori.
Ten and a 9. And Spiller picks up 1. Maria subs a 2-time international champion in both, check this here, 2008 as well as 1998. They also won the 2020 United States only tournament, COVID-19 precaution influenced in all. Tim Douglas, 80 through 6, a strike and 2 spares. 4 horsemen, 5, 7, and 9. Glen Murphy on a spare. It's a good one. Strike on spare. Murphy suddenly turning on the Jets at that 6-box beforehand, and this is a quick way to put that away. Douglas still fighting for pins. Very good crack at that. Douglas will settle for 9 on this. Flung one of those pins over the 8 spot. Douglas cracks down the head pin, 4, 7, and 9. Murphy close, almost doubled that up. Five pin only. Would have been a great way to jolt Abel back into this. Still another spare here. Could do that. 33 pins isn't entirely true because Abel has the extra mark. Tim denied. Glenn turns it around immediately and sticks with the 9 fill on the strike. Didn't like how he shot that single. These bowlers know the timing of this sport, this fickle sport, so well, and they can tell even the minutest timing change can throw it all off. And that's what experience gets you, and that's why they're all here on the international stage. 99-93 here in the second spot. 395 to 371. Brian Fuller Jr. and Lucas Nickerson. Fuller Jr. comes in with a 124 average. We saw him throw a 400-plus series, 419 in fact. On the last Maria Subs match we featured, that was match number 3. Nickerson, strike fill. 7 pin, 8 pin, neither of you, so be it. 8 is the start of the fill. Fuller had the missing middle 2 rows. Nickerson's got the 7-8 to ponder here. Has wood in front of the 7. I think he's talked back, trying to figure out the best way to go about this. Hits just the 8 pin. Box him a chance to gain 2 more. 9 fill, 10 box. And Fuller Jr. has 8. And that's how it shakes out, and we equalize at 83 in this spot. Pinning is just about even, in fact, only 1 pin apart. It's really the extra marks that are generating Maria Sub's advantage. 2 extra. Fuller mixes them all down eventually. Boy, that took a long while. That's got a rise out of everybody. 93 plus 2. Lucas now, he's got the missing middle. 1, 8, 9, and 10. 2 points per string, 2 per total. Everything to play for each and every game. Gonna be on when your captain calls on you to be. Here's Lucas. Head pin, oh, it just deflects away. 3 strikes aside. And 3 extra spares on the side of Maria Subs. Lucas looking for pins, goes through grandma's teeth, perhaps you might say. 7 pin, 7 box, excuse me. There we go, that's that. And down to Jon Winchell and Garrett Martin. Winchell 4 pins out. That goes on as spare. It's not the biggest count Marias was hoping for. But Winchell, who had a north of a 120 average last tournament in Moncton. Chance to rebound here. He has a 110 average through first day of play. Garrett Martin, a 122 average. Tough to get that. We've seen some difficult shapes here, and this is really part of the difficulty of Candlepin. What happens when you just keep getting off target on the head pin and then suddenly not everything is falling as nicely as you thought it would. And then you've really just got to fight, fight, fight for every single pin. Seeing a lot of difficult shapes. Again, with those two middle rows missing, we've seen it quite a few times. I apologize if it sounds like a broken record, but it is starting to become a bit of a recurring theme here. Well, Winchell takes out 5, and it could be influential in the match. Pinning is even, or just about, 3 pins in favor of Maria Subs. There's still a pin in the channel there. That's why Martin softly lobs this down, or rolls this down. Five pin, wilts into the 8 pin. 4 horsemen. Both of them at the 4 horsemen. That darn inner pin makes it so much more difficult. Winchell's going to try it, and just the front 3 rip away, making 10 nigh impossible. Can Martin keep this diagonal intact? Maybe even send it all down as 1. If he does, Abel can cut this down to the teens. Trips on the wood instead, and nothing seems to go. This 4 pin is being a bit of a tease, but it will not drop. Jon Winchell at 9. Greg Gouillart here on Candlepin Bowling Network. Pleasure to have you joining us here for World's coverage. The World's International Candlepin Championships, hosted here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire this year. Alternate countries, alternate years. Martin takes 9. 19 pins, so slow and steady here. Still plenty of room for Team Abel to suddenly go on a run here and put together some marks. Perhaps Mike Brown, who is on a mark, but first Shawn Baker also on a spare. Here it comes. Head pin, ooh, that's a 9 fill, and yet again, a 9 gets jotted down on Baker's score sheet. 4 19 boxes and 2 9s. Well, if you're using American vertical notation, you put a 9 flanked by the triangle in the top left. That's how we do it, and that's the nod in the player's scores you see. And then a nod to Canadian smudges and the score line. Just 3 out for Brown, who got 6 in that count. Baker in the face, breaking the trend here. You can put an X in the box for 10. Matched by Mike Brown. Maria Subs on 26 and 14. Team Abel on 22 and 18. Top 5 make it through. 8 points available. Excuse me. There we go. Shawn Baker with 4 19 boxes. 453 to 431. Breaks apart. Oh dear. Cluster of 5 is not the worst one in the world, but goes even less than the usual 1 and 4 that a diamond would. Thanks Bob Lee, our executive producer here at Candlepin Bowling Network, for those stats. You were hit, but the 8 pin doesn't go. Four pins out for Brown. 9 down, 1 to go. Good to see you all here. Great crowd. Please like the video if you haven't had the chance already. Helps boost it in the algorithm so that everyone knows that this great game of Candlepin Bowling is having another marquee international moment. You press that thumbs up button just for being logged in. Either way, we appreciate your support just by watching. Top of the order here, and Maria Subs still maintaining that 22 pin advantage we see here. 13 marks to 10, so a fairly standard string all told. Still the chance for one team or another, either for Maria Subs to explode and go 600, or for Abel to overtake. Fuller Jr. on that strike. A spare for Team Able. Ryan Cox. Matched by Aaron Spiller. Okay, here comes that salvo of marks. Maybe, just maybe. As we light up a spare on each side of the board. 4-7-3 and 4-5-1. Next ball counts double in effect. Phil could create a big difference here depending on the follow-up. Cox now on to 4 spares. Spiller on 3. 2-7. Cox 114. Now 5 out. So it does generate a rather harsh advantage there. Ryan Cox getting a little bit luckier on the split and does have a little bit of help on the 7-pin as long as he can deflect either the 2-pin or the ball into that plank. Over curls it though, and it goes into the 7. And there's no broom sweep coming to help. A ball return jam, we'll check on that. Every now and again, it doesn't quite get up the ramp. I'm not entirely convinced that the problem may not be that the ball ramp is just too clogged if there's just too many balls in the rack. I don't see it happening, so this may be completely off base. Or just for some reason or another, the ball just doesn't get enough momentum off the chute as the gravity tries to take the ball up in an otherwise routine fashion. Spiller's still trying to get some pins here. 19 pins plus a strike seems pretty secure for Maria Subs, just doesn't want to damage that in any way. Especially trying to build a lead here and possibly make this lead last for the rest of the match. 10 for Cox, yes, Spiller does get that out. 6 becomes 9, 104. Not the string he's after, but a significant ball. You still want to get every bunch of 3 pins you can because those pins might be the ones you might regret later if you don't get them. Admittedly, may not be the most glamorous part of Candlepin, but that's exactly the allure of it. I'll check that later. You know, that blue-collar work ethic is why we love the sport so much. Glen Murphy 9-drop plank to the right of that 4-pin. Yikes, only one taken out. The quarter Worcester, just the 2-pin flying away on Tim Douglas. Seems to happen to the fireballers quite often, but it usually does more damage than that. A missed opportunity for Murphy, and now Douglas has 2 balls with which to catch up. Runs through the 2-pin though, and now he's in a bit of a spot of bother. A 10. Glen Murphy sets the challenge. Currently 18 pins plus a strike for Maria Subs. And that is crushed in the pocket, and 2 turns to 8. And again, Maria Subs getting it done on the 3rd ball to maintain most of their lead. 16 plus the Brian Fuller Jr. strike. 495 to 479. Whoa. Almost splats on the head pin, but gets enough sidewall love. Glen Murphy, just the 6-pin. Douglas, good leave as well. 5-pin does not go down, but 2 5s pretty gettable. A number of opportunities here for Murphy. Let's see if he can take advantage here. Gets it. And gets a round of applause from the crowd. His 3rd mark. Timely one as well. Douglas, always yanked this one to the left. Such a dynamic 4-step motion of Douglas. And like anyone's delivery, just the slightest bit of difference makes the ball go completely different direction. Trust me, you start Candlepin for the first time, I don't care how good you are, say at mainstream bowling, believe me, your first ball will go into the gutter. That is a near guarantee. Oh.
13 the ball. Just pushed left, 5, 118. First string for Glen Murphy.
Ball granted alongside me, Greg Gouillart here on Candlepin Bowling Network. 10-pin advantage for Maria Subs, but now Brian Fuller Jr. to follow up the strike. Not a foregone conclusion. A strike follow-up. If the strike follow was bad, this could shrink to single digits, presuming even decent pinning from Lucas Nickerson is alongside.
Abel 22-18 coming in. Maria Subs 26-14. Match 6. Day 2. 3 matches tomorrow, 2 on Friday, then the quarterfinals late Friday afternoon into Friday evening.
Tough to get decent pinning when that happens.
Brian Fuller Jr. on a strike. Look at this, spread eagle plus the 9.
Well, that's a brutal way to have that happen, but now suddenly you got a pin for your life. Make sure you get that count on the second ball and make sure you follow up with the third as well to protect the profit.
Nickerson, nothing there either. Fuller, look at this. Wow, that's a tough 4.
And at some point, it's just the pins having their way with you.
97th, that's a youch. Y-O-U-C-H. A youch and a yikes combined. Y-O-U-C-H. And what an out that was. Big 9 after missing the second shot. 9's a wild. 9-9-9. 99-9 for Lucas Nickerson for Abel.
So the power of the third ball, and there's your decent out. Over to you, Fuller. You've got 4 on the strike.
And he sends up with a nice 9.
Very good. So it is a true 4-pin pickup for Fuller Jr.
106-9. No marks on the board. That's rare for these type of bowlers. It happens. Maria Subs holding on to a 14-pin lead here at Leda Lanes at the 2024 ICC Team Championships on Candlepin Bowling Network. Free to subscribe.
Sometimes splits are just misfortune. It just is what it is. 2 object pins, there you go.
Nickerson pushing left, 8 and back in front, the 1-3-6. Fuller Jr. back in the head pin, another split. 2-4 and the 10. Wood angled straight on to the left, right of the 2. Not sure that's going to help.
That red line's not looking at the 10, so.
You can hope for some boomerang shot here somehow. Zigzag it over.
Twirly bird?
Nickerson punches number 1. Ouch.
Smack dab in the middle.
I thought it was Malcolm in the middle.
That's an old food product commercial.
TV show. Fuller missed left. 2 in the 10. Winding down here in the first of 3 strings. Nice out. 9 for Nickerson. 108 first string. Fuller a 9, maybe a 10. Rolling, rolling, rolling. It is going to be a 9. 115 first string for Brian Fuller Jr. The lead remains 14 pins for Maria Subs. No marks on the board. 4 boxes to go. Abel leads at least 2 marks.
Curse these bowlers, big shoulders, but I can see the scoreboard here. 526 to 512 is correct.
Low scoring by these team standards. Both below the minimum here. Martin 79, Winchell 77 through 8.
Just gives the teams more room to come flying out of the gate in string number 2, or now. No time like the present. Winchell, Baker, Martin, Brown not done yet.
Just on the right side of the head pin, 5-2 split. Garrett looking for a mark to help his team take the pressure off the ankle bowler next. Mike Brown, Jon Winchell on the right side of the head pin. 6, 2, 4, 7, 6 right. Punch City.
You could get some messy leaves at Exeter Lanes where Jon Winchell has bowled out of for quite some time now.
Garrett, good bid there. 2 in the 4, trying to pin out at 89 through 9. Jon Winchell, object pin, doesn't carry.
Boy, a board more to the left and maybe, just maybe.
Maybe means yes sometimes, maybe means no. I meant no that time. Nine for Martin, just 88 through 9. Winchell trying to gain, gets the short 2 for a 9 match. 86 to 9, still a 14-pin lead for Maria Subs on the left. 3 boxes to go in the first of 3.
$14 marks to 12, so 2 extra spares for Maria Subs.
Greg Gouillart called the full second string. He's done half and half and a lot today.
My pleasure.
Save my voice for tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. Much easier with headphones on. You don't have to project this loud and raucous crowd in the middle of the field. There's a 9 drop for Winchell. Same spot takes at the 5, the king. And Brown goes half west to left, 2 in the 8.
Once upon a time, we used to have the crowd around that microphone on that little tripod. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
A little windscreen?
Oh, yeah.
Memories.
1-4, 6-10 right, and now Winchell can put the heat on. Abel with a spare, and he missed it.
Thank you, Mike Moore, for helping us save ourselves from ourselves.
Sporting that little beard now, mustache.
I dig it. I hope he doesn't get superstitious about it. I know his average is a bit on the decline here, but
Hope it doesn't weigh him down.
honestly,
Oh, nice out by
facial hair's
Garrett
majestic,
Martin.
I'd say.
9.97, disappointing first string. Jon Winchell, a 9. Frustrating 95, first string. He was on the head pin quite a bit, wasn't he, Greg?
Winchell, 5 for 10, half and half. He could
splits, so
Yeah, 4 splits in there. You can see those
80%
red S's
splits.
there if you
Okay.
want. That's right.
14-pin lead, 2 blocks to go. Mike Brown's going to need some magic.
And I'll also reserve the term majestic for facial hair for, say, Phil Clough's beard, Dennis Watford as well. We have to have some standards here.
Brown's diamond right. 3, 5, 6 to 9 behind the 3. He's got to get it somehow. Shawn Baker on the right side. 7, not bad. 1, 2 in the 10. He's at 114 coming in. Brown is just 83 through 8.
I'm worried about that wood in the middle of the 1, 2, 10. First diamond.
Needs it off the wall. Tricky dribbles for a spare. How about that one? They stay alive for 2 points. 93 and a ball through 9.
Will that wood with flat wood deflected away?
Baker missed left. Wood rolls away. 1 in the 10. That gives Abel a chance.
We'll never know.
Must fill big. Must mark again. Shawn. Nice 10. Big pins. 124 through 9.
Yeah, hasn't lost a pin for 6 frames now, Shawn Baker.
How many matches decided by 1, 2, or 3 pins? Pinning makes a huge difference.
If Brown does fill and does mark again, then it will absolutely matter. Pinning is currently 1 in favor of Abel this string. That's it.
Abel down 14 minus big spare fill.
For those newer, by pinning, I mean the literal pins knocked down. 1 more literal pin knocked down by Abel.
Beautiful ball off the wall. 9 maybe. It is 9. Big break. Wood roll to the 7 for a strike. Not quite. 102 through 9. It's a 5-pin lead for Maria Subs. Baker 9.
Oh boy.
Near side the 10. Clean shot at it.
2 big opportunities. Brown will probably love that he has this flank there. Don't drop in the gutter.
For a spare. Bang! 112 on the ball in the 10th. No quit in this team.
Crowd takes notice.
Rallying back from a big deficit somewhat. Baker to answer. He missed it.
Not over yet. This has to be filled by Brown. Baker will want to at least get this pin to maintain the 5-pin gap.
And Shauna Paul Grant special missed the second, make the third. Unbelievable. Never a good time for that. 124 string, 134 string.
564 to 559
5 to
is
tie,
confirmed.
6 to win for 2 points.
5 pins exactly would split the points. This is in.
Big ball here. Able construction.
So you
Not construction anymore, just able.
So you want to be a world's anchor.
5 to tie, 6 to win. Final box to the first. Can he get it? He gets 5. We tie. 1 point apiece. 117. 564. 564. What a great finish here at the Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire.
And we've only just begun. Now,
That
yes,
sounds like
564. That's right. We got that fixed.
That sounds like the Carpenters song. Wow, what a wild finish. And they were down, what, 30-something pins earlier, Greg?
Yeah.
564, 564, 1 point each.
And 14 marks apiece as well. Just one more
You want
bonus.
those 2 points for a tie, you salvage 1 and 1. Wow. I'll get the lines, Greg, and Greg Gouillart will have the station identification in just a moment.
And just confirm that it is a tie. It should be, though. I see it
and
up
he'll
there.
do the second string.
Thank you very much. Whoa, what a finish that was. And we've only just begun 1-1. For the first time, we've split the points on our stream. 2 points per string, 2 for total. Tie split those points. We'll copy that in here. This takes just a little bit of fussing. How about a 134 for Baker? And then a 124 for Cox. And anything else, Paul? All right. We have Aaron Spiller up here. Winchell and Fuller Jr. will flip-flop. I am certain of that. Foxy Coxy, he goes by Ryan Cox on the back of his shirt. He'll stay up there. Three, 5, and 10. Confirms same lineup, Abel. Thank you. Winchell and Fuller Jr., the only switch for Maria subs. And on we go.
And back to Greg Gouillart with the play-by-play for the full second string.
Ryan Cox, the 1-2-4-9 for a spare. No go, and third ball's coming up for each. So perhaps some experimentation by Captain Zappi, trying to figure out what formula might work out here. One pin up for Team Abel. There we go. We got acclimated here. And we'll put the little switcher arrow so you know which green team is which. We'll switch sides every two, so the second string will start on the opposite side. Which team is left and right is decided by the draw that decided the divisional teams, and then the schedule decides who plays on the left lane and the right lane, which I imagine is as close to even as possible based on the schedule formulation. 11 round-robin matches, and then interdivisional play. Left 2 plays right 5, left 3 plays right 4, etc. The first seed in each division of 12, each side of the house, gets a first-round bye. First playoff match will be 3 p.m. at Eastern, 4 p.m. Atlantic Friday or thereabouts, slightly after probably. Spiller on just the 10-pin here, or leaving only the 10-pin, quite the opposite, excuse me. And it's gone. Ryan Cox getting rid of that bundle of 5. Do they call it a bucket up in Canada? So I'm told. Please advise. And a 10 box for Spiller, 18 through 2. Check that foul, 9 box. Had my head down and did not see that. Excuse me. San Marcos C with Chad. Hey, you can bet Ty and Baccarat, can't you? Everything except the head pin for Glen Murphy. Thank you, Ian. One vote for yes, a bucket in Canada. And mainstream bowling, a bucket is what we call a diamond, and probably always will. Let's be honest with ourselves. Just the plank there. No go for Murphy. So a dead even match makes it all the more exciting going down the line. Hey, in theory, you could go 4-4 if you just keep tying all the way down. Douglas an 8. And a 9 for Murphy. 3-pin advantage here, plus Ryan Cox at the starting spare in the second. Fantastic live audience. We've been spoiled with the great triple-digit numbers we've gotten here. I can't wait to see what this balloons to when it comes finals time. Friday, 3 p.m., or Friday the third match of the day, I should say, to be cautious. It's the first playoff match, Strike Douglas, and all day Saturday. The remaining 3 playoff matches culminating in the World's Final. Murphy, 5, 9, 10. interesting conference on this wood, and here's Paul with an update.
Hey, the Hatchmen had a bad day yesterday, but today they're smoking it. They swept undefeated the Massachusetts team. They're just killing it today, and Shawn MacDougall just got a 142 for them.
Nice spare Murphy sweeping the 5-9-10.
Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time, 10 o'clock Atlantic, shortly after, 10:30 Newfoundland time, 6 o'clock Vancouver, British Columbia time. Number 13 team against, it's going to be New England Flooring versus Drywall Concepts. First time seeing New England Flooring, Dave Hodge-Malian's team. And Drywall Concepts, if you see for the second time. The second match around 12:30, give or take. It'll be Prosperity U, we saw earlier. Take on A-Plus Accounting, we saw earlier today also. The final match will be Academy Lanes versus Lucky Strike, another grand finale. Tomorrow just after 4 p.m. Friday, the final 2 rounds before the playoffs, Friday afternoon, Friday night. It'll be Oakland Park versus Able Construction. In the final regular round, Avon Valley Lanes, Central Park Lanes. And the quarterfinals after that, semifinals and finals Saturday.
We got a handshake here, appears to be a substitution. Checking in here, 1 second, folks. No, we still have Nickerson up there. I'm wondering what all the hubbub was about, but on we go. Winchell and Nickerson. Strike.
No question about that one. Great way to start the second of 3.
Nickerson blows it apart. Abel off to a good start.
3 hits to 1.
Ooh. Winchell, a bit of a glancing blow to that head pin. And he'll take 9. Always been a steady 3-lane cross delivery. Even back when he bowled just on the pair of lanes over yonder, 33 and 34. Back on Stars and Strikes. Second boxer coming on up. Paul, you want to take this call?
Sure. Jon Winchell, 9 after 1. Diamond left. 2, 4, 5 in front. The 8 played hide and seek behind the 2. Lucas Nickerson would love a double strike for Abel. Off to 11 drop, $5 for Candlepins for Cancer on the spare, on the strike.
I can take the call if you want to play. I can take the call again if you want to play IRS agents. Diamond. Doesn't work out. Nickerson's still filling. Push over that 3 pin at least. That's 6. Honestly, that one's on me. I sort of encouraged Paul, didn't I? But it's all for a good cause. Candlepins for Cancer, a 501c3 charity. Bowlers helping other bowlers in the community with the costs of cancer treatments of all sorts. A great charity put together by Al Johnson. And quite simply, it's just direct financial relief to those who are going through that difficult time because, I mean, certainly the costs of fighting cancer are the least of evils, but even just that little bit of help helps out. Ryan Fuller Jr. Ooh, that's mashed in there. 5-pin coerced. Tipping, tipping, not falling. Martin. He's got a pin that got tapped twice. Fuller got a spare. 10 in the ball. Martin, that's unlucky there. The wood spun out. It's when it's frozen against the edge of the plate like that, you really got to make sure you get on the red line and make sure it goes straight back. Much easier said than done, especially since very few bowlers have a straight line delivery to the red line in that situation. So a bit of spin is almost inevitable. Garrett Martin sticks with a 9. Early advantage slightly to Team Able. Tied match there. That's not a glitch. Thank you so much to everyone who's devoted time and resources to make Candlepin Bowling Network. It is what it is. We've come a long way from past world setups. You've got the pin cam now. And maybe more things later, including maybe some of that instant replay action like Micah Imperato has on his streams. He loves the sport, and he's been an invaluable help to us and other great networks like Candlepin Corner, who we'll be collaborating with on the finals. Looking forward to working with him on that.
I got the $5 for Candlepin for Cancer for Lucas Nickerson. Got a kick out of the teammates are giving him grief and good fun on that strike, Phil.
I got worried there. I feel like I almost coerced you like a school kid on a playground to say, like, hey, go into the shark pit there. They'll love it.
Lemon Family's helping Lemon Drop pool along.
Go tell them they owe you $5. It'll be funny.
Try to keep it loose. A fun way to help a great cause, a Lemon Drop pool.
And that's how you got to be on the lanes. Just a lot of the championship teams even say, you know, having fun is a winning strategy.
It is not a mandate. It's optional.
$9 for Fuller.
Of course, I'm going to give you grief and good fun, of course. That's no good at 9.
Stays at 9 anyway. Didn't drop the pin.
But just in case it did, for your information, 2 marks to 1 for Abel.
A just cause.
You know, middle string of 3, our final match today. I have the lines for tomorrow too, Greg. You get a chance. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Excellent. Oh, no. Baker's got parallel pins, 3 and 9. Much better leave on the other side. Mike Brown with the head pin in front of the 610. Maria Stubbs, a previous 2-time international champion and 1-time 2020 champion. Plank should drive this through. Yes, it does.
Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we mentioned earlier again, New England Flooring Drywall Concepts, followed by Prosperity U versus A Plus Accounting. Final match tomorrow, Academy Lanes, Lucky Strike Friday, Oakland Park, Able Construction, Able, not construction anymore, just Able. Avon Valley Lanes, Central Park Lanes, the final 5 qualifiers Thursday and Friday. Greg, tell us how they can get the live notifications.
Make sure you're logged into YouTube and then go to into Google as well. They'll be logged into the top right corner and then hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell icon that pops up afterwards. You ring that bell and you'll be notified for our videos at the very least during Worlds. You can always turn the setting off later, but certainly this week you'll want to know when we're going live. And thank you so much for any time you can spend out of your week in this glorious International Week of Candlepin.
Brown, tough 2 in the field, 12-1. They were down 14 pins going to the final 2 boxes, and Brown came through. They tied the string for 1 point each.
That'll go for 7. So we take a look-see here. Having a gander at the scoreboard, we see 99 and also 99. I'll check in here, just make sure. And now it is 100. Good, we got that checked out. 2 marks to 2. Just a 1-pin advantage for Able as they switch sides back to the right way around on the scoreboard. Shawn Baker had that great first string. Still waiting for someone to really break through. In this one, a lot of bowlers with 1 mark. Cox gets 5 on this spare, Phil. Some chance for Maria Stubbs to possibly take the lead here with good count on both of these. Spiller toppling the 7-pin as well. A 6-pin pickup, a nice split. Washout spare conversion. Score that a 9 for Cox. 3 marks to 1. Spiller filling 1. Cox right through the middle. 3 of them. The load is good. And a plank sits nicely to the side of the 5. And another one rolls behind. So another 19 box. Baker was racking up a bunch of them. Now Spiller with his best fill yet. Cox through the middle, so now Pin's a problem here. Spiller can take big advantage if he can get the single, and he does. So back-to-back, 19 and another for Aaron Spiller. And we've seen how quickly that snacks up an advantage for Maria Subs, but how quickly it can go. And unfortunately, a 3 box for Cox. 36 through 4. So basically negating the effect of the previous spare, but nothing another spare can't repair. Now over to Tim Douglas and Glen Murphy. 2 extra marks now. 11 pins plus 2 for Maria Subs, who again is off to the early advantage. Murphy takes 5. Double strike would make this stratospheric. Douglas mashed in there, but hello, we've got a spread eagle minus the 7. And now, just like Cox before, Douglas has to follow this up. Ooh, just the front 3. That's harsh. Didn't make it to the back row, and that's what Murphy's staring back at. 8-10. Still failing the strike. Whoops, right through the middle of that set of 3. Douglas gets a 6 fill. And now has to pin this out. Murphy gets a stick. That's 9. Tim Douglas would require a circus shot to recoup that. He tried for it, but it's going to go for 7. 31, so still the advantage there for Maria Subs. Maria Subs at Sandwich Shop in Scituate, Massachusetts since 1965. Able versus Able, formerly Construction Company. It's now for Murphy. Douglas, with straight line delivery, runner-up in the ICBA tournament had recently. Great showing by the Western Massachusetts bowlers, including Tim Soucy, who ultimately came out on top. 4 horsemen and 9. Scott, his brother Scott likely would have been on a team as well, but unfortunately was not able to make arrangements to be here. Look forward to seeing him perhaps in a future tournament. It's a big commitment for these bowlers, you know. Tough to get the time away and make the logistics. But it is a experience for a lifetime every time you get to do it. 150 to 141. Atmosphere fantastic. You got your whole team standing at your backs, making sure you know the importance of every single ball every step of the way. And you got to do that. With all the bowling we're fitting into this week, keeping each other's energy levels up is key to success and enjoyment of this wonderful tournament. Nickerson takes out 4. Jon Winchell takes out 2. 5 marks to 4. So the marks have them flying in, but they come in at a good clip here. Still waiting to see if we'll have a spurt here or if we'll start heading towards another tie-ish situation as well. Winchell. Whoa, 10 pin close. Does not drop. So a 10 for Nickerson. Lucas at 35 through 3. Winchell's try at the 10 pin. Goes wide for a 9. This is Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube. Lots of great Candlepin content of both pro leagues and development leagues as well. Wherever there's Candlepin bowling, we want to be there. We want to chronicle it and showcase it for everyone. So please subscribe on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. And hit that thumbs up button on the video as well if you're logged in, please. No 9 pin for Winchell re-racking. hitting that like button is just a great way, you know, Silicon Valley algorithms, you know, they're pushing you the videos. How are people going to know what videos to watch? Well, with your help, we can let people know that Candlepin Bowling deserves its slice of the entertainment pie again. It's certainly increasingly up after COVID-19. Certainly was a big setback for the industry. But here we are, I'd say, stronger than ever. Stronger than a long, long time. Isn't this interesting? Everything but the headpin for Nickerson. Winchell exactly on the headpin, a worse leave. This doesn't work out. Ball is still caroming about. Lucas doesn't care to see how that turns out. Still low ahead on the pinning. Winchell did lose that second ball out to the right. And a 10. Ooh. 2 more, a 7 box. Leda Lane's a fantastic 36-lane facility here. Many great activities. Arcade, Kegler's Den, and lots of nighttime events as well, including cornhole and darts, and lots else. And of course, great food and drink always at Kegler's Den. So come check it out. Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. L-E-D-A, named for Leda Semino, mother of founder Ray Semino, also the namesake of Ray's Easter Classic, the annual 20-string competition. And that garners a lot of international attention as well. Garrett rips the 3 pins right in front of the 10 pin, got a nasty bounce off the wall, and did not convert. Fuller just 1 pin off to the right. Goes for 9. Pinning is within 2, so again, a question of pins, and every pin was vital. Fuller Jr. 10 versus 9. That's why you get every pin you can on the 3rd ball. Six pins. The gap here. The Maria Stubbs has 2 more marks in the tank. You see the smudges between total and game. Garrett Martin, 1, 2, 7, 9, and 10.
Won the first one. They tied. They tied. Are you shitting me? Yeah, 14 points. 14 points. Drops to go.
Spare try coming on up. 1, 2, 7, 9, 10. Now, 2, 9, 10 taken out. 9 pin chipped out. Nine-box Martin. It's 9 so down the line, in fact. Takes out the head pin on the 1-7. Bowler's got to take out 3.
Hey, Greg, I got a feature from a Canadian bowler watching, Barry Soward. Howard with an S. He said he wishes he was here. He said watching it isn't the same, but the guys doing the commentating are doing a good job. Thank you very much for those kind words. Barry bowled in the Worlds from 1985 to 2002, and a lot of people don't know this. I bowled on Custom Machine and Tool in 1985 and later bowled on the Dartmouth Bowlerdrome with Pat Burchell, who bowled at Sackville Super Bowl. It's how the dynasty started. That's crazy. I went to the bathroom, and Pat Burchell came in. It's a big bathroom at the bowling alley. I said, Pat, we should put half my team with half your team. That was in 2000, and it was McLaughlin Truck and Trailer.
Ooh, yes.
More in a moment.
Strike on spare.
They came in second in 2001 and won it in 2002. Barry was the captain, and what a bunch of different personalities to deal with. That's how the team came about. It was his 17th year in the Worlds, and he left after they won in 2002. It was the only tournament of my life left to win. I did come back in 2019 only because I had the opportunity to bowl with my son, Adam. Some personal stats for Barry Soward. A 2-game total over 200. Had 2 games of a 200, and also a 201, a 203 also, a high triple 480, high 5 of 748, so 3 200s during that time. He also won TV singles twice and won TV doubles twice. And yes, all this information means he's old. Thank you for sharing that, Barry.
Tricky wood in front of that. Yes, the triangle goes with the wood in front. Brown negotiates it well. You really have to be here to, get the full immersion, even though you can see the team standing there. At some point it's cheeky. Maybe I'll be able to get a zoomed out shot here, but you looked at right the way down. Teams are stood right behind their bowlers with them every step of the way. Now this is an interesting one. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. And that's the thanks Brown gets for getting the head pin, I suppose. I guess we'll mark that one a split. It is. But the strangest 4 you may see for a long time. Yeah, we've seen some strange things all week long. Still some to come. Baker denied a double. Brown has the plank there. Gets rid of 5 of the 6. Baker's just got a red line as you think, but hits the right side of the cap and twirls it around.
He's had some tough ones he's missed. Couple
Phil.
ones he usually makes. That's bowling.
One could argue that it could be due for a lineup change. Now, substitutions is a different matter, but you can change the lineup between strings. Baker 9. 58 and 42. And we take a look at the top of the order here. See Paul going out there. I wonder if something development has occurred here. But first of all, when we take a look, 20 pins the advantage, 222 to 202. That's confirmed. Aaron Spiller, the only one with a spare on the board at the moment. So Maria Subs holding a 20-pin advantage, which is the match advantage because of the tied string earlier and the 1-1 match points you see. 2 points per string, 2 for total. Now another weird 4-pin punch out. And we will have a substitution. Is that Craig Holbrook in for Jon Winchell? Hello. So we were wondering, maybe, just maybe, we would have the chance to see Craig bowl. Well, we're going to get our chance. Winchell taken out here by Captain John Zappi. Another eagle variant for Cox. Have that extra pin. This is going to be a tough one. Pinning out here, and you see the struggle of these two bowlers. Neither makes a lot of headway. That's how it goes with the split sometimes. 7 and 6. Get the switcher arrows going for you all. Now then, 1-3-9.
At this point, Abel is staying put with their lineup. They could make a change, like Greg said, after the 5th box, as long as it's not on a mark, a spare or strike. And they're challenging Maria Subs, tying the first, only down 23 in the string, no marks on the board. It was 6 a cup of coffee ago.
This could drive through. 1-3 pocket is obscured, though. Spiller, I think, puts a pretty good bid on that. Good offer, I guess. This isn't real estate, but transaction denied all the same. Cox spares. And Spiller will stick with 9. 22 the gap. 241 to 219. Yeah, write that word again. Eventually. Tim Douglas and Glen Murphy. lineup, mostly the same as you see it here. Not a lot of changes being made by either side. Douglas evaporates this one, and he has his third strike. Murphy, 1, 2, and 4. So the third strike of this string for Maria subs, and they now are 22 plus another in front. Got away, Wood swiveling away and swerving wide. Glen's got 10 and 53 at the half. Checking in here. I believe we've got some information here. I'm just checking in. Now, 6 and 7. Douglas, the 4 horsemen on a strike fill. All right, Shawn Bernard. Shawn Bernard, so Abel will actually make a switch in this case after originally the notion was not to. 7 fill, 8 box for Douglas. And 10 box for Murphy. So here it is. Greg Holbrook in the third spot. You see him there, battling some injury. I'm wondering if I've missed another swap yet. Holbrook, just 4. Lucas Nickerson dives into the head pin, 3-6. Opportunity presents itself. Had that strike in the first. Holbrook's second ball gets away. Can Lucas drive this through on the 3-6? Just wide. Good out. Holbrook 4 becomes 8. Greg Holbrook, the Hall of Famer, at least once over. My pet claim is arguably twice over, at least, given all his competitive accomplishments and still to this day, including a mixed international victory at Academy Lanes. He's got this head pin in triangle 2. Nickerson, the 2, 4, and 5. Nickerson, first ball, punches out the 3-9. Craig Holbrook wide on the triangle. Lucas Nickerson, 1, 5, 6, and 10. Greg Gouillart here. This is Candlepin Bowling Network, bringing you Worlds coverage all week long. This will be 52 through 6. And at 10 tips over. I'm trying to, the reason I've been a bit hush-hush recently is I'm trying to pull up some information for you about the standings. And as soon as I get access to that, I will let you know. We can tell you that Maria's subs came into this match 26-14, and Abel came in 22-18. As you know, each of them has split 1 point. A big 8-0 victory in Academy Lanes over A+ Accounting earlier on our stream. Big blowout victory there. There was a lot of fun and a lot of great shot making, but in the end, one team just ran away with it. Just kept on pulling away. It's away here. Maybe, just maybe. Three and one split. Ooh. Ends diverge. Nothing actually gets over to the 10 pin. Fuller a 7. And $9 here. I think I've just about got this here. Yeah, I'll keep that. Sorry, working out some logistics back here. Ooh. Now, Fuller Jr. with one of his best looks here at just the 6 pin. Converted in the first. Opportunity didn't work out in the third. Garrett Martin splits again. No mark for Fuller, so Abel does have that extra mark. This is in the teens, and if Martin can split this wood apart, he can get another spare, and now will get his first. And now you might start to wonder, could Abel start worming their way back in this match, leaving those opportunities on the table? Mike Brown was gifted the opportunity to go mark late, equalize this string in string number 1. Spare 9, spare 5 got it done. Shawn Baker. Smack. Nice leave. New planks in front. Head pin, and Mike Brown. Anchor's now going tete-a-tete. Head pin, a head pin. Ooh, Baker got scared there. He was worried where that was hitting, but instead he gets 3 marks in 4. Brown matching the mark. Odd number frames, all spares. Sorry, one more gosh diddly darn time, and then I might have standings. I know I'm being such a tease about it. Gotta do what I gotta do. Head pin cracked in, yikes. Parallel pins. Baker 6 for 6 on the head pin. This one gets away, but better count. The 7 fill for Brown on the 1-8-10. Wood's a little off target, a little to the side of the head pin. I don't think it's a ball-sized gap, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. In the most quote-unquote hilarious way. Let's see. Smacks the pin directly. So just 7. This is a 3-pin pickup. Taking a look here, make sure I got that right. 322. I show it as 305, we'll confirm. Okay, well, back to the top of the order. Ryan Cox, 8 drop on this. Murphy, I have 1 pin too high, apparently. He's on 62, and now this should be correct with the official score. Whatever it may be, maybe it was an automatic sensor missed, or maybe yours truly just cannot add. 129. Also, I really have standings this time. Cox a 10. And a 10 match for Spiller. No longer on opposite sides. Fenway Academy and Leda's Mass H and Outlaw Rides all on 32 points. That will be tie broken by pinfall when the time comes. I don't have the pinfall data in front of me, but on the left division, the one we're not seeing here, Fenway Academy, Leda's, and Outlaw Rides all on 32. Stars and Strikes and Hatchetmen both on 24. Paul was mentioning the Hatchetmen comeback. Well, there you see it. They're now in playoff position. Team USA and Grafton Flooring 22, Birch's Siding 17, Harry's All-Stars, and Kingswood on 14. Bolorama, I believe that's Bayers Road Bolorama on 8, and Team 2.64 on 7. Right division stats here in just a moment. Cox drops 8. 4th split he's encountered here. Pins in front of both the full corners. 5 pin for Spiller. Abel has the chance to carve this into single digits. And if Cox can send the trampoline, maybe Abel can take the lead. Off the wall, nothing goes across. I try to make that pin cam as tall as I can, but alas, I can't overcome all vertical challenges, I regret to inform you. A 10 and a 10, and yes, I was even told of the substitution. Sean Bernard is the 4th able bowler. Got to get that in there now. Thank you to Ange. Tim Douglas and Glen Murphy. Glen Murphy, yikes. Oh, hang on a second. 5 and 9. All right, so Abel does have the chance to pick up another mark here. Got to get this 2-pinner. Tim Douglas just gets rid of the 4. Headpin's going to spill anyway. Here it comes. 3-pin hit. Deadwood coming. Whoa, holy jumping. It's coming way out front. Disappearing from pin cam view, but at least it will die in the gutter. At least the gutters have depth. Kidding, kidding. The gutters only are flat on the plate in Canada. Just a different dynamic to the game. Murphy spares. And this piece of wood does not cover the 6-pin. And Douglas in disbelief as he spins round. Dropped on the approach, or on the line. There we go, 75 through 7. Right side, Academy Lanes on 33 and 7. Drywall Concepts 32 and 8. Maria Subs, you see them here, 26 and 14. A+ Accounting and Lucky Strike 24 and 24. So you see Academy Lanes, that big 8-0 earlier. Let's leapfrog them in the standings. Academy Lanes 33, Drywall Concepts 32, Maria Sub 26, A+ Accounting 24, Lucky Strike 24. And then out of playoff position currently is Abel, only 2 points out, 22 and 18, and they just snagged one here. New England Flooring 17, Central Park 15, Prosperity U 13, Spikes Chimney 12, and Oakland Park and Avon Valley 10 each. Headpin, whoa. Murphy 4 strips away 2. Match seems tied. That may be a tiebreaker. Tim Douglas with a seeming go-ahead spare. And this will go for 6. So actually, Even more than that, this could be a 10-pin swing because of the 6-box opposite. Over to Craig Holbrook, Lucas Nickerson. Keep that pinning in mind, remember. 6 pins extra for Abel. And it was a question of 1 pin at the end. Abel got 1 extra in the pinning. Maria Subs had 1 extra bonus pin in that first string, and that's why it's split. As you see the points there. Lucas Nickerson. This one's on the head pin, the 2-5-7. Craig Holbrook, half Worcester, 3-9 punch out. Ooh, through the gap there. Holbrook, now a few of his balls have been hanging up in the hand there. See him shaking his head as he goes back. He lets you know when the shot doesn't go well. Lucas challenging with 10. And Holbrook responds with a 9 to save that and keep the 9-pin advantage for Maria's. Matches all week long in the Worlds. We've had yesterday. Great singles coverage. How about that final in that semifinal? Check it out. There's a final round video. Thanks to Steve Kelly for chaptering that. And also special edits to just the final round by Nico Buhar, our social media manager. Working remotely for us from Missouri. We thank you very much. Triangle 3 for Nickerson. Holbrook 3-6. So, do check one of those videos out. Believe me, both the semifinals and the final in particular were a thrilling drama. We regret that the rest of the video was fragmented, but the recordings are intact in one piece, and we look forward to uploading that. It will probably be after the week of Worlds at our soonest opportunity. And by that, I mean my soonest opportunity. Holbrook on the board with a spare. Now 2-mark advantage. Wants these pins, gets 1. Lucas on 84 through 8. Looks like they have it as 83. We'll check in and make sure that's okay. It looks like my error was 1 box before, so or thereabouts. Apparently I'm different on box 6. There we go. Strike that, reverse it. And over to Sean Bernard, who I mischaracterized, missed the substitution there. Literally after I was told. Strike, Fuller Jr. is, excuse me, he had some strikes, 2 strikes when he was bowling in the 3rd, so this is his 3rd.
Great.
3-5. And Sean denied the 10-pin. So 4 marks to 1. Now they start to stack up for Maria Subs. Wondering that moment, when is that chain of marks going to come? Now Baker's not on a spare, excuse me, so it is 3-1. 10 box for Bernard. 3 marks to 1, 4 pins plus 2 extra marks. Fantastic crowd. Appreciate you all here. The bowlers appreciate it too. Live from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. World-class facility, quite clearly. We're all here. Candlepin bowling enjoyed in Northeast North America, Upper New England states, and the Canadian Maritimes. Pull down the description to learn more. Both first balls get away. Fuller Jr. has a 6 fill. Part of what might have necessitated the Garrett Martin substitution, just all those splits there. Sometimes the bowler just doesn't have it on a lane for whatever reason. And maybe a change just shakes it up for whatever the reason the split may be. That's sort of a different weapon you can have for adjustment, if any, at the captain's disposal. Fuller's strike field still continuing here, rolling one more. That 10-pin's got to get down, doesn't it? 9. Now Bernard gets 8. And Fuller gets 10. So now and only now, really, we get a bit of a pinning gap. Just 3 pins. And 3 pins in favor of Abel, actually. So that actually shrunk the gap. Shawn Baker. And Mike Brown. Brown taking aim here. Headphone. I heard someone say headphones and I uttered it. I am a simple Simon, aren't I? 2-4-7 for Baker. He is 7 for 7 on this head pin. Sure, he's had a few that's gotten away, but his first ball all over the objective, and that's been true for quite some time. I only have him down for 1, maybe 2 misses in that first string, and none here. Comes across. Boy, that violin bow came across. Round denied. Okay, so it is 2 marks. And only 2 of the 3 horsemen. All right, let's get this spare situation settled here. Second and third bowlers have spares. That's what you see it there. 15 pins for Maria Subs. 10 marks for Brown. And just a 9 for Baker. Those who missed it earlier, Fenway Academy, Leda's Mass H, and Outlaw Rides, 32, 32, 32 in points. Stars and Strikes, Hatchman, and Team USA. Oh, we got some points dropping here, actually. Team USA got some of the points recorded. They're now 24 and 20. So we'll have to check in here. Possible pin center delay here. Thursday, New England Flooring versus Drywall Concepts. Next match of the day, Prosperity U versus A Plus Accounting. And then Academy versus Lucky Strike. Once again, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, that's 10 a.m. Atlantic. New England Flooring versus Drywall Concepts. And the second match, Prosperity U versus A Plus Accounting. And third match, Academy Lanes versus Team Lucky Strike, which we have the pleasure of seeing on lanes 31 and 32. Another setup in progress on lanes 5 and 6 on recording only. We look forward to having that for you as well. You see the WON Sports and Skins banners over there. That's 2 great sources of Candlepin content there. WON Sports. WON Sports is the local TV syndicate that we have here stateside, based out of New York. Jonathan Rios does a great job with a variety of shows, but including Candlepin Bowling, both our Candlepins for Cancer show, as well as the all-new Candlepin skins over on Candlepin Corner. Candlepin Corner we look forward to working to. You see that skins banner there on lane 34. We look forward to working with Candlepin Corner on the finals and the semifinals of the Worlds. Great to have you along with us. Mike Brown, 3-1 split. He's done that a few times now, 3 times. And actually 13 splits. So actually there's a lot of rotten split luck on Abel's side. He's just let a few opportunities pass them by and start to even that out. Baker has one here, 3 and 6. (3-1) Does not work out for Brown. Baker a chance. He's yanked this one to the left as well. So 8 for 8 on the head pin. Just a question of the second ball now to try and keep Maria Subs in business, though they are really twice as ahead as they seem to be, considering the 2 extra marks for Tim Douglas and Craig Holbrook. And an extra pin there as Baker picks this one up. A 10 box. Taking a gander here. So 415, so I've moved a pin over where I shouldn't have, it looks as though. Just trying to see the mistake I've made here. Having a hard time finding it for some reason. How quaint. One this way around. Excuse me. We'll check in on that in a second, excuse me. 3-2 split. Aaron Spiller, opposite side lane now for Maria Subs. Seven box and an 8 box. So, Spiller picks up 1 extra pin. 93. Split and split. Sorry, folks. Trying to find a scoring error I've made here. I'm looking that up as fast as I can. Ooh, close here. 8 and 10 doesn't work out. 2, 4, 10. 4 and 10. Oxford, the Nova Scotian squad. That's a pretty impressive split conversion in its own right. Now a 10 versus a 9. So taking a look at the pinning now. Got a 103 and a 97 here. Is that fly in the ointment? I'll have to check in here. All right, so I've got it this way around. And now I have to do that one more time because I've made an error elsewhere. Okay. Tim Douglas spare fill is 7. Murphy scores correctly. Here we go, 9 drop and a 9 box and a 10 box. Sorry, folks, struggle busting a bit on this one. I'm not sure why I cannot suddenly. Have I finally figured this out? I think we may have just done that. Douglas rolls the wood into the 8-pin and gets that mark. 110. Murphy responds in kind. 103. And a ball. 4-7-1 to 4-5-2. And at last, we've got this score correct. Tough to see the scoreboards back here. Excuse us. Maria Subs looking to hold on to a 19-pin advantage. Maria Subs on the right side. Let's get that indicator up there for you. Thank you, Marcus. Is it Mr. Marcus? Split. So Douglas's spare fill is 5. Murphy's is 6. And there, yes, 6 there. And there you have it. 115 to 109. 18 pins. Over to Holbrook and Nickerson. Just closing out of something here that may improve images a little bit. Makes it worse before it gets better, and again. Down to Craig Holbrook, his fill is 7. So the advantage goes up to 25 for Maria Subs. And a quest to win the string outright. Nickerson had that starting strike. Gets on the headpin again, thin this time. And he gets another split there. He's been on the headpin 4 of the past 5. 2, 7, and 8. Holbrook skates through the gap. Look at that one go off the foul line. Just a 7-8 remaining. Holbrook an 8 and Nickerson a 9. Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube. We'll be on YouTube pretty much all week long at this point. We were on Facebook. Then realizing the stream quality of that just wasn't working out, we've switched over to only YouTube. And then saves us the issue we had earlier where everyone was getting kicked out. Great to have you all here in one spot. All 256 of you. Greatly appreciate it very much. Still the room available for Able to take this one, but they'll need a lot of help here. 24 pins down. Holbrook does get not a setback of sorts, but gets set back by this split. Lucas only now losing the head pin. Holbrook trying to slice. Well, his ball has a way of curving into that pocket. A funny way. This is a tough one for Lucas. He wants to go right to left here, but without that 3-pin there, his pocket isn't available. At least the plank sits there and gives him a chance for 8. Holbrook moves up to 10 and moves ahead. Let's see here. Anything trampolining off the wall? No dice. So Lucas Nickerson gets stuck on double digits, does win the comparison by 3 pins, and moves us down to Brian Fuller Jr. and Sean Bernard in substitute. All the asterisks indicate substitutes, though that's quite a few bowlers by this point. Well, Bernard is the only one I recall being an able substitute. Winchell and Fuller Jr. switched places before eventually Craig Holbrook took over the 3 spot. Fuller, a previous world's champion, that would be with Team Academy Lanes if memory serves. Bernard, a 2-2 split. And again, he splits for the 5th time, unfortunately. Lots of splits working against Able there. Marias have had more head pins in fairness, but still not getting a whole lot to work with unless you can negotiate this front wood somehow. One tip or the other, I suppose. Your move, Sean. Takes aim, really trying to left tip, and he's got it. 2 and 2, and he's got his second mark in 4. Fuller defends the stick. 10 box, 98 through 9. 27 pins, -1 mark for Abel. 3 boxes remaining. It may be too little too late, but the pinning has to be had, and the fills have to be made. Marina subs hoping to stay out in front and claw these 2 points. 5'11", 484 is confirmed. Fuller Jr. And Brian gets the 4, 7, 8, and 10. If you don't drive into that pocket just right, the pins will complain, as you see here. Directly onto the 2-pin. Shawn drops 4 on this spare. Bernard 94 through 9. So 23 pins, a true advantage for Maria subs. Fuller, just the 4-8. Just a head pin away. Oh boy, that just flutters right in front, and it didn't even sit horizontally in front. That's going to be a disappointing one, as Shawn now has to work this out opposite this 9 box. Up.
Would it be something, Greg, if Abel can pull off again, like they did in the first, down 14 with 2 boxes to go and tied it with a chance to win?
Bernard gets 7 box. That would require something huge here.
Maybe a double.
Mike Brown has had a lot of head pins here. He'll need to hit them very well.
Double strike a must now.
Shawn Baker could be well north of 100 through 8. We've seen the brilliant first ball. And he does have the ability to pin out 254. Even if he does not mark from here. Ooh, that's crushed in there. Baker must know something we don't, and after all, he's competed a while on TV at Leda Lanes. 6-10. Brown gets a leave as well, and the plank sits nicely in front of the 6-10. I cannot say the same for Baker. Don't trip on that. Good dodge. 9 for 9 on the head pin, and now a pickup. Brown drives it through. This is a heavily Maria's favored string, though it does have to be filled. If the follow-up from Baker isn't there, then this could still be another matter, but it would take a lot. Brown certainly needs at least another mark to even make this a conversation. But a good finish here, just like last string. A split finally now for Baker. That's only his first split, and he's 10 for 10 on the head pin in this string. Brown just 4 out, 102 through 9. Baker trying to carve this across. 3-2 split doesn't go. Cluster of 5 remains for Brown. And Baker gets a 9, and he finishes with a 124. A 6 for Brown. There we are, 124, 108. Checking in here, 545, 514. Looks like a pin off, perhaps? We'll see. Waiting for the official confirmation here. I had it down as 545, 514, but we'll check in here and just make sure before I take this away. String 3 of 3 is coming on up. Greg Gouillart here with Candlepin Bowling Network. All weeks long with the worlds. We love the grind, they do too. And it's great to have you alongside. .545 to 514 is confirmed, so 31 pins the margin. 3-1 for Maria subs, third string of 3 underway. We do have Ryan Cox still in the lineup. Stand by while we get the spreadsheet set. You see Aaron Spiller returning. in string number 2 with a 1-2-4. Stand by, Paul. I'll be right with you. Chris third, John is out. Run down, that'll be 10 and 10. No, spare and spare. Good bounce back in each case. Takes out 4. And 7 out. Here comes the wood. Oh dear. Runs away here, but 7 fill for Cox. 4 fill for Spiller. Punching through on the second ball. Yep, that's all the same. Yep. Cox 8 and 10 bucks for Spiller. Switching arrows are no longer there. Good to see you, Paul Grant alongside.
Great job, Greg, all day, all week, all year, all life.
Should be Glen Murphy up there. It is. Douglas blasts in there, only leaving the 10 pin. It's got hit and wiggles, but does not go down. 2-4-10. Ooh, Wood foiled it. Looked as though Murphy had the left to right action.
Before that, wouldn't wrap it up and go down?
Ain't that the way it goes? Plank in front of the 10 pin for Douglas. Checking in here. There's Wood rolling on the left side. That's why Douglas has to wait.
Abel's been testing Maria's subs all match long. They tied the first. Down 14 with 2 walks to go to tie it. It was close there in the second. Maria's went up by 31.
Tim Douglas with a quick mark again against the 9 box. Trying to cash in on a substitute here. Oh, yeah, Holbrook third. That's right. That means our lineup should be correct as is. I was like, Chris? Who's Chris and Maria subs? Nobody. And it's like, of course. I also have to avoid getting whiplash whenever someone addresses Craig and me, Greg, is in the same room. There it goes, the rolling Wood. Tim Douglas, strike on spare in one of the slower fashions he usually does it. Murphy responds with a spare, which could be just as good quite easily. Average spare fill 6.5, strike fill about a shade over 8. I gotcha. It's a spelling, but not the first name. There we go. Lucas Nickerson against Craig Holbrook. 2 points for string, 2 for total. Maria subs hoping to go 7-1. Tight margins in each case, neither is safe. Triangle 6 for Lucas. Craig Holbrook drops a 4 and 7. And therefore leaving only the head pin. Live from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, a beautiful 36-lane bowling facility. Right off the highway. Lucas runs this triangle down. Plank was a good help. Greg is on target, and he's got a spare. Starting spare for each of them. So the marks coming quickly this time to start off. Already 4 marks and 5 for Maria Subs and 3 marks and 5 for Abel. Keeping an eye on the pinning, but that's not much change there, only within 5, but every single pin instrumental in making that tie possible. That's why you see the odd numbers of match points at the top of the scoreboard, bottom right of your screen. That's how words work. 4 horsemen and a 9-pin. Nickerson's drop is 5. Holbrook. 7-pin as well. Good drop, chance for another. 18. Right. Glancing that head pin. Another example of these harsh pins. Can't just hit them any old way. Holbrook didn't get all the way over to the right side of the lane. Abel, of course, if they salvage this, if they get it all, could be a 5-3. That would be hard-won points and a great way to end this evening. Last match today. And then 3 more tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And then that'll be that. Saturday is the playoffs.
2 on Saturday, technically.
Have I gotten that tangled up? Have I been?
No, it's all set.
I'm now worried I've made another foul in introducing the playoff format. But a 2-round bye, well, it should be 4 matches. So no, it'll be 1 on Friday and 3 on Saturday. Heaven help me.
No, semifinals and finals on Saturday. Quarterfinals Friday night. So it's 2 qualifiers on Friday, then playoffs start for quarterfinals. Is it one? It's only 1 on Friday night, right?
Junior, the 6-7-10. Right side of the wood, way, way right. Didn't even get that back piece, which he thought he would have more of a play on. Good offer at that. It's surprising that just didn't carry through. Bernard a 9, Fuller a 10. Take a look here, 14-pin advantage. Spiller had a 7. I've got the fills backwards. There we go. 95 and 75.
Yeah, Greg, I apologize. You're right. 3 on Saturday. Just a brain cramp there.
Okay, good.
Because they do a bye in the first round, so there's 2 rounds, 2 different sides. So you're right. So it's 1 match Friday night, opening round, then quarters, then semis, then finals Saturday.
Good.
So you are correct. I can't believe I missed that one.
Well, there's so many tournaments and so many bowlers to keep track of. And it's our pleasure to go see Candlepin bowling in all its formats. 2-4-7-9. I don't think that ramp behind sends it to the 9-pin, though could hit that wood in front of the 9. Maybe this has play. Bernard hits it off the wall and makes the spare. That's high 5 worthy if you ask me as well. And Fuller responds. Good response.
Shawn, 47 years young, 122 average career high, just a smidge under 125, 124.9 technically. High single 192, high triple 464, high 5 676. 30 plus 30 years of Candlepin bowling. His mother signed him up for a league.
Whoa, that's gone in a hurry by Mike Brown. And everybody already has a mark on Abel's side. Baker could join that club, but everyone else on Maria Subs has a mark, and Douglas has 2. Bunch of 5 and 1. The wood seems more help than not. Has to be accurate. Gets on it, and there it is. Starting spare for Baker, and indeed.
He's got 2 Easter Classic titles. He's got 6 pro titles, world record titles with Jack Ray. A lot of accomplishments on TV multiple times, over 50 appearances.
Easter Classic, the annual 20-string competition.
And
Yes,
tons of Mass and New Hampshire state titles.
and yes, that is 20 strings at this very bowling center. Ray's Easter Classic for Ray Simino. The original owner, Sean Howard, proudly today. 5-1. Ooh, dear. That's a rude way to get a 4-fill. Pin's not treating the odds-on Hall of Famer with respect. They bend to nobody. You just got to hit them. Also, if the pins bend, we might have a bigger problem. 5-1. On the front layer, at least get that 9-pin. It's going to bump and fall, but no roll over. Maria Subs off to a 6-5 lead. And by the by, have not left a pin standing yet at all.
And Able Construction was in the semifinals last year, lost to Fenway Academy. So Mike Brown's trying to get in his 5th playoff match.
Box. Nice kibosh, Gregory. Shawn Baker gets a 9-box, and here it comes. A score update, 128 to 112. 16-pin advantage, Maria Subs with that extra mark. Taking a look around here, Shawn Baker can pin out 362 even if he doesn't mark in any of the next 8 frames. If he starts putting some marks together, he could be on track for 400. Tim Douglas a little further back, but 341 and has the strike. Again, assuming just 10s and the fill blanks out. Furthest along on Able is Mike Brown in the anchor spot. Able to pin out 331. That is to say 31 over par. It's good to be over par in bowling. Side switch is on. We've got Aaron Spiller on the right side. Curse your sartorial resemblance. Green and green. Ooh, that gets out there a bit. Spare is missed. Three and 1 for Cox. Just the 7-pin taken. Spiller will fill that 10th pin. 37 through 3. Finally a chance. As we get to bend and stretch lessons with the Hall of Famer himself. 2, 3, 4. It's only consecutive numerically. Cox has to leave that there for 7. Spiller out of Canal Lanes. I thought I recognized the name from Western Mass. 2-pin alone. Nicely for Ryan Cox, a 2-pinner. And a spare. Spiller gets 47 in a ball. And Cox responds. All right, still within 1 mark. Taking a look here, 3 marks to 3 that should be. Bernard also has a spare up. So you see it there, 19-pin advantage. 3 marks to 3. On a mark is Tim Douglas. He's on a strike. Check mark, left side. Glen Murphy on the head pin, 3-5. The fill is 8. Douglas rips the check mark apart. Take another 20 out of the ATM. He's got a spare on strike. 50 in a ball through 3. Murphy wide of that 2-pinner. And that will go for 8. Neither time around. So Tim Douglas, I mentioned he's on ability to pin out 351, but even a 9-drop here, he could get up to his 120 average, still with frames to go to start building it up. At that sensational 194 at the World Singles and Academy Lanes during one of the playoff rounds. Nine-drop Murphy, you're hit, but way too slowly in fairness. Douglas's train will stop here. That's going to be a 5 fill. Ooh, 3 pins. It was dancing in the back there. It wasn't really going to hit a front pin. Get some decent action. Murphy nicks it. Very, very low on that wood, but an even numbered frame. Again, producing a spare. Douglas, that's fine. Only the first pin left standing, 64 through 4. I wouldn't chance it, honestly. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Paul, I think you'll find I need it anyway. Greg Holbrook, 28 through 2. Here he goes on lane 32. 4 horsemen right side. Now a 5-1 split as the wood just grinds to a halt on Lucas Nickerson. We've seen this 5-1 bundle before. I believe Baker confronted it already. Holbrook. Oh, horseman looked to be run down. When he steps away, you'll find that that 10-pin stays put. On target is the bid by Nickerson, but the back row remains. So a very fussy back row here at Leda. Each house has its own character. And part of being a pro bowler is figuring out what the pins might be. Now, don't take my word for it. My average is a bit mediocre. But one thing a bowler will consider is, you know, how the pins behave in response to the ball here. And we can see some of the behaviors here, especially with these slightly newer pins. Leda Lanes installed these pins before the Easter Classic. This would be in, I believe, 2022 this would be. That's right, because Chris Merrill won in 2022. And Kevin Davis 2019, hang on, I might be off one. But thereabouts. Kevin Burns, a Leda local here, was mentioning how the pins might still need a few more years to break in yet. Ooh, off the cap. That's not where Holbrook wanted to play that one. He knows. Wanted to go on the broad side. Nickerson, that ball hangs up on his hand. No mark there. Healthy advantage here for Maria Stubbs. Watch out. Abel is stacking marks. Cox, Murphy, and Bernard all open. Which again brings up to this discussion of the difference of open. United States open would be you didn't mark, and Canada means you're about to fill your mark. Completely the opposite. Holbrook is pinned perfect, 38 through 4, as I put it. $9 for Lucas Nickerson, 43 through 4. I think open makes much more sense in big ball mainstream bowling because of the fact that when you don't get a mark, you don't get the third ball. Thus, arguably, your frame just hangs open because you don't actually put that third ball that would otherwise be given to you in all the small ball versions of the game, except for rubber band duck pen. Pennsylvania, I think? And Montreal as well, if I recall correctly. Quebec has its own rubber band duck pins as well, similar to the rubber bands you'd find in 5 pins. 4 out on a spread eagle for Fuller. And Sean Bernard, everything except the head pin. Great count. 9 more. I thought we saw him a moment ago, no? Off target on the spare. Paul?
Just Billy Gillis sent me a message just saying, great job as always. Appreciate that Billy saying that. Work commitments held him home this year. He's missing my Able boys right now, Able team right now. He'd love to be there. Again, they were in the semifinals last year. They're fighting a tough team, Maria Stubbs, and Right down 20 in the string, 51 in the match after tie in the first. And came close in the second, couldn't quite get it done, and pulled away at the end with Maria subs. And able to try to get some points, try to get at least 3 out of the 8 with a third string win. Still time to take total and get 5 points. Greg.
213 to 192 currently the official score. We'll go with that. 3 and 6 for Bernard. One, 3, and 4. Sorry, that's Bernard Fuller Jr., of course. With the 3-6. There it goes. Like almost gliding in delivery of Fuller Jr. How could I mistake it?
Greg, great job doing the play-by-play. Give me a good rest today overall. So back at full strength tomorrow.
Sounds good. I'll need it later.
Full strength tomorrow.
I will do this however long it takes.
Ditto.
Well, because it's fun. I would not be here if I didn't enjoy the grind, just like all these bowlers here.
So we'll still have 9 matches to call after tonight.
And that does mean, and that's 45 strings worth if you think about it. 15 3-string showcases, including this one here, match number 6 of 11 of this round-robin tournament.
In our broadcast here, live on YouTube on Candlepin Bowling Network, free to subscribe, never a charge. Tomorrow morning, just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Atlantic. In Newfoundland, I'll give them love too. 10:30 start there. New England Flooring, Drywell Concepts, second match. Prosperity U, A+ account. 2 Canadian teams square off. The final match before the playoffs, Academy and Lucky Strike.
Just checking you didn't say, you said A+ and not O+?
Did I say, yeah, A+. No, not O positive, A+. Sometimes half asleep I do say, but it is A+. So tomorrow,
oh, man.
3 matches tomorrow. 2 on Friday will be Oakland Park and Able Construction. That'd be a key match for points for Able. Avon Valley Lane, Central Park Lanes. We possibly could switch that 5th string, Greg, if possible, to cover a team near the playout, if we can move that camera over possibly.
Brown runs this spare down. A 37 and a ball through the 3, and let's play a game of how far is this deadwood going to go.
We'd like to give all the teams coverage as much as possible.
That was your guess. Baker gets 10. Now a different piece of deadwood deployed down. Hopefully got rid of the automatic pin spotting there, or the pin sensing. 233 to... Ooh. Just a second here. Oh, because they've put an extra strike on Brown's side for some reason. That probably was because of the pin detection, so they have to take that off the board. 211 is confirmed. I'm sussing out this new Cubica system as well. Leda Lanes used to have the Pro Score system. That's very much that DOS-based system that you'd find at Woburn Bowlodrome, used to be at Fico's Bowlodrome, Franklin, and a number of 5-pin centers still today, where I think since the Canadian technology has its best use, it even has the cute animations for each of the strikes. Speaking of, Shawn Baker dumping them all. Everything except the head pin, so now Able, after getting horrendous split luck earlier, maybe the pins are atoning for their sins. 9 drop here for Brown. Head pin, just go at direct at it, don't chance the wood at all. 19 and another. And 56 in a ball, 4 boxes, 3 marks. And here you see the outcome, 243 to 230. Yep, just an extra strike got tacked on the board there. So 3 marks to 3. 2 points per string, 2 per total. Currently, Maria subs looking to hang on for a 7-1 victory. If they do, they would go to 33 and 15, if I can do my math correctly. But alas, I don't think I have. Cox got a 4 fill. Same side as the scoreboard now, and 7 pins to split for Spiller. Can he cut the 2-4-10 just on the object pin direct? On the head pin, that's a sweet escape, 4-7 is all that stands for Cox, only conceding the 1 pin to Aaron Spiller. The 17 pins, 2 extra marks for each side, still to fill. Maria subs, a 7-1 would bring them to 33-15. I was right. 4-7-8. 2 pin tips over, good. Spiller's got a chance here on the 7 pin, just don't drop in the gutter and hit that channel wood first. Wood seems almost tucked in there in that 4-8. Cox wants to go straight at it, just at the 8 pin instead. Ball gets somewhat captured by the pin play, but it's not really going to help out. Direct hit, and Spiller has his 3rd mark, 73 in a ball through 6. And there's a 9. 60 through 6. Extra mark on Maria's sub side. So now 18 pins might grow from here. Scott Douglas and Tim Douglas. Uh-oh. Scott Douglas isn't in these worlds. Tim Douglas and Glen Murphy. Where's this going? Is this going to be a backdoor strike? Wood's going to roll forwards, and guess what? It will not be, but yet again, Abel profiting with a 19 box. As again, all those splits they faced in the 2nd string in particular. Now the Scorpion Tail and lane 33 can keep that one. Have a little present in the left gutter under the WON Sports banner. That pin just catapulted across. 64 plus at the half for Glen Murphy. Douglas trying to work out of this split. 3rd ball on its way, 9 or 10. It's 10. Only the 1 pin left standing still, 74 half with that spare strike spare. Biggest reason right now why Maria subs is in front. Glen Murphy, Halifax, Nova Scotia. He's got 3 here, 67 at the half. Tim Douglas only 5. No dice. Douglas whips it down full on the head pin. Not a bad way to take this one, because now there's a plank sat there, though now flattening up. And this will be tough to take 10 from. Murphy's got a bit of a blocker to 10 as well, but just play it on the outside, and that's how you do it. And a 9 drop. Taking a look here. Now, yes, Lucas Nickerson's still up, Craig Holbrook's still up. 3 marks to 1. So an advantage to be had by Maria subs at even stage, even considering that Shawn Baker strike versus that Mike Brown spare. Is this going to get knocked from behind? Yes! Nickerson with his 4th strike. He was doing a lot of that in string number 1 with 2 of them. That's more than his due. Lineups are going to stay the same. Thank you, Paul, for that update. Holbrook, a 9 drop, needs the 6 pin. on it. Across the face of it, 58 plus at the half. Pin perfect. 2 spares and 3 tens. Consider Maria Subs has only lost 7 pins, despite going markless in 13 frames. That's generating a 9-pin advantage in its own right, and is the reason, in fact, why they are ahead. Now 4. Nickerson still filling the strike. We've got the switcher arrow still on. Holbrook toppling, that's 6. Running this down, close, strike fills 9. No mark. Nickerson from Lower Sackville bowling out of the Super Bowl, or Super Bowl simply. Stick with 9 on this. Holbrook runs down to 3, 9 is fine. It is only the first pin left standing, but going greedy trying to get that perfect string, especially when you've got a lot on the line and your team is depending on you to defend that lead. Maria Subs ahead by 2 pins now, but they take that Nickerson strike away, and actually you find it is 3 outstanding marks to 1. Jean Bernard staying up. And Fuller Jr. just 2 pins on that spare. Oh boy, they're both toppling! Shawn Bernard with a great bounce back. And it does pick up 3 immediately. So 1 converted the punch out, and that's the difference here. Shawn Bernard, 57 and a ball at the half. Great crowd here. 249. Hey, my old street address. Incredible.
You okay here?
Yep. We are good to go. Bernard, fill is 5. Fuller, fill is 7. Fuller not on a fill. Greek church leave. Can that wood go across? On the cap, 10-pin tips, but into the gutter. Triangle 2, 2, 4, 5. Fuller curls around it, gets it to go on the crossover side. 5 head pins and 6, and it's paying off for Fuller. He's got even numbered frame marks. Got up to 9, that's where it'll stay. Shawn Bernard 71 through 6. Shawn Bernard inheriting a 119 average from day 1. Brian Fuller Jr. a 124 average. From previous day's coverage, we'll update these averages day by day. Shawn Baker on a strike. 121 average from previous play yesterday. Mike Brown, 7 out, fills of 9 and 7, and on the strike he had earlier, 8. Just 3 out, Baker needs more. Still a lot of extra marks, you just don't want to take them for granted. Especially when Brown throws one in your face like that, and that's his 3rd straight. Watch out, anchor's heating up. And Shawn Baker responds. 7-pin cluster is intact. in there. It's going to roll across. Sidewall tips the 10, and the 3 will not go. It's wobbling. We'll mark that a 9 fill. A 10.
Work. Not bad, not bad.
Mike Brown inheriting a 111 average from previous play. This is above and beyond. Could be a big part of an able comeback.
Catch it.
Headpin. Yes, Brown keeps spilling them. His half is 81. 7-8. Baker on a 62 half. Gets in there, got a check mark, thin hit.
Ten, buddy. Thank you.
9 pins up for Abel, but Maria subs with the 2 extra spares. Keep an eye on the smudges between total and game. Brown. 2 pin just falls to the right of the 7.
Pound him, baby. Keep pounding him. Pounding him. 20-20 for 160. Come on.
Making the check mark. And there's just 3 of them. They'll go for 10.
Work! Come on!
Baker channel would only. That'll go for a 9. 71 through 6. 370 to 360. So 10 pins extra for Abel. Chance to grab 2 points and at least get up to 3 points. Number of Channel 50 alumni and Channel 5 alumni here on Maria Subs, our local TV shows here. Greatly appreciate the Sean Benoit channel. Forgive me, I know the videos are from someone in turn. Is it Barry Soward or am I blanking on this? But Sean Benoit is a great treasure trove of Canadian TV content, and arguably he's equally valuable to the sport as Wolfman12395 and Alley Chat are in archiving the United States Candlepin history. We're back to the top of the order here. Spiller just 2 on that fill. Now an 8 in the box if all holds.
Good up. Give it 10.
Oh, just the 9 pin out, excuse me. Ryan carving through, and that's going to go for 4, so a 4-pin pickup. 370 to 373, I show that? Yeah, 374, that's right. Don't shortchange a pin atop all that. So the 4-pin giveaway makes a pinning advantage in the string 10 for Maria Subs. 10 more pins literally knocked down. Spiller not on the mark now. Carves away just 1. A quarter Worcester. Only Brian Fuller Jr. open on a mark.
Yes, this one, the string is closed. Total not closed.
3 pin.
27.
Oh, head pin hit here. 8 pins hit. It's probably going to fall the wrong way, even though there's curious wood going across the front of that. And 4-8 gets away there. That'll be 10 for Ryan Cox, excuse me. I am looking to upgrade the scoring system at some point. It's served us very well through a number of broadcasts together, folks. But we all know Mike Imperato is a great setup as well on VMix, and I'm looking to do either exactly that or maybe something similar. I confess I can't resist putting creative touches on things. I have dogmatic opinions about infrastructure, and I do mean bowling scoring infrastructure as well. Though I do wish I could walk to a bowling alley and not have to drive everywhere. That's my selfish wish. 4-7. 1, 2, 4, and 10. Douglas. Just the 4-pin taken away. Missed opportunity, and now this is a very even match. All right. We can put the other, at least one of the other headsets back on. I love the vocal spectators. It was just right over the microphone there. Wanted to give them the opportunity to do that without you having to hear everything they had to say. Nothing profane, of course, just.
That's it! Oh, yeah! Woo!
And there's the 10. It's possible I've spoken too soon. But great to see everyone here. What do I do with that?
Adam Milance's mother gave it to us.
Oh, thank you.
If you want it, it's up to you.
Oh, okay, I'll take it later. You come bearing gifts. Same quote Boston Rob said to Jonathan Boudreau when they did a video randomly at Southie Bowl, South Boston Bowl.
All right.
That's a YouTube hidden gem if I've ever seen one.
Bobby.
Split.
How you guys doing this one? Split.
Tim Douglas 7-9.
So today,
All right.
so today you were 116.
Tentative here. Tim Douglas
Took 8, right?
wants to cement this advantage. Spin the cap. 9-pin and the 7 goes. String pulled. Spare on the board. 103 and a ball through 8.
Yeah, 8 coming into this match.
Skinny hit on the head pin. Murphy working on it well and will probably want to go after the 6-10. 4 on the head pin, 4 not on the head pin for Murphy. And he'll get the 10 pin for a 8 box. Dinner time approaching for a number of you. Great to see you all here. Thank you all so much. All the many of you who have made our coverage a part of your week in some form or another. Hey, you tune in anytime this week starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Atlantic. We'll be here with bowling. And great to bring it from you from Leda Lanes. Hall of Famer Craig Holbrook, 73 through 6.
No, we don't have any more. Sorry.
Super Bowl's own Lucas Nickerson opposite. Strike! And now Maria subs 3 open marks as Holbrook tacks on a hammer. When won't he be good? 1-3. Millis 8.
Hey, we got a special guest here. We got weekdays at Bernie's.
Yeah,
Bernie
thanks,
Corbett.
Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Corbett or Corbett?
Corbett. Corbett.
Corbett or Corbett?
Corbett.
Corbett, not Quebec.
No, so Sir Paul.
All right, talk about a special occasion you have here.
Yeah, we got a special occasion today here. It's Avery Prince, my grandson's birthday today.
How old is he now?
He's 7 years old today, Paul.
Happy birthday. You want to sing happy birthday?
Happy birthday to Avery. Happy birthday to Avery. Happy birthday to Avery. Happy birthday to you.
All right, nice job.
Okay, Avery.
Weekdays at Bernie's.
Probably
Spike's Chimney.
probably not bowling, but you'll get me tomorrow, maybe.
Spike's Chimney. How you guys doing today?
We're struggling today. Having a bad day, but anyways, we're having fun. We had some good games, good matches, and everybody's watching out for us now because we had some good games against some big teams. And
Whoa. Holbrook missed the backdoor double strike almost.
Ooh.
All right, Bernie. Thanks a lot for
All right.
talking to us. You're always such a class actor. You're always good to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Weekdays at Bernie's. Bernie Corbett. Corbett.
Oh, I thought.
Corbett.
I'm sorry. I thought that was the cue to be
Bernie
done.
Corbett.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to silence him needlessly.
Bernie Corbett.
Corbett.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Weekdays at Bernie's.
Thanks, Paul, very much.
Welcome. Anytime.
Spare and strike. So Holbrook putting up a 20 bucks to give Maria Zamora a decided advantage for the two-time international and one-time U.S. Invitational champion. 310, nicely out. Nicely put out. Nickerson punches out 2 candles for 10, 91 through 8. Please refer to the pins as candle pins, not candlesticks. Thank you very much, and welcome to our wonderful sport of Northeast North America. Brian Fuller Jr. and Sean Bernard. Scores are current right now, 428 to 422.
Yep.
Had a tentative moment there where I just wasn't keeping it up, but keeping up with the scores, that is to say, I hasten to clarify. Now Brian Fuller Jr. 60 plus through 6. Take a look here. We're going to load 8 on that spare fill over there. Brian Fuller Jr. 68 through 6. A head pin hit for Bernard. 4-7 plank in front there. Missed an opportunity. So with 2 open marks for Maria subs, a chance here for Bernard to get that 4-7. I don't think that pin is frozen quite to the edge of the plate here. Nor is the red line may be generous enough. Let's see. Just plays it low or high on the red line, I would say. High on the tip of the wood, in fact. And that is a spare. Then box for Fuller. 4-4-6 to 4-3-2. Spare fill on its way by Sean Bernard. Substituting in, that's what the asterisks indicate. Fuller Jr. in this case has been in this match the whole time, but was in the 3 position to start the match. Washes out 4 horsemen. That could have been 4 horsemen plus, but instead Fuller Jr. gets the 1-3, and now Maria subs tripping some pins from behind. One of those Micah Imperato specials of just getting the split, but not the head pin. You're missing the head pin, but you didn't hit the head pin. You spilled it out, but Aaron's not up. Couldn't resist. There's always one name joke I just can't get around. Fantastic crowd. I think the live audience here, about 237, that seems not far off what we had for that epic showdown. Fenway Academy versus A+ Accounting. That's that. Those finals you see in our coverage. The first video you click on when you go to Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, it's basically the first video you see on our channel's so-called splash page, the first thing you come across. $10, excuse me, for each. And it is 456 to 448. 2 extra marks now. And it's over to Shawn Baker and Mike Brown. Check, check. Okay. Baker. Head pin clobbered. 7 pin. You're hit repeatedly. You're hanging off the corner. Brown lapped him with a strike. Baker now deploys the ball, and that's a spare. I was half wondering if maybe, just maybe, we would get one of those rare cases where the pin wilts after you deliver the ball. If that happens, you deliver the ball, and you have to take the spare or the 10. Essentially, once you throw the ball, you have downgraded the reward for getting them all down. Immediately once that's done. 8 pins. 466 to 458. The official rulebook for Candlepin Bowling is the International Candlepin Bowling Association's rulebook. The ICBA of Candlepin. Coming soon, a CBA of Candlepin. President Dave Barber. Although there hasn't been any formalized agenda or action items just yet, dues are being collected and resources being assembled to give the bowlers a way to come together and assemble a number of great resources. Maybe members-only tournaments, and maybe ways to synthesize results in one place. I know Brendan O'Dowd on the committee is particularly keen about that. immortalizing these matches here on Candlepin Bowling Network helps out. I certainly hope so anyway. And Shawn Baker gets a 9 drop on this spare. Another 19 box. He had several of those previously. I think he's had 5 of those 19 boxes previously. Shot gets ruined by the wood. Brown fighting against the punch out, trying to get it sticks on the strike, and it's 6. A 107 through 7. The punch out we call the half Worcester. So-called the Worcester bowler punches it out against the Boston team, and they jeer you're halfway back to Worcester. A 3-pin pickup, half-mark pickup. So that's actually in addition to the better spare fill. So although Baker's displeased with the outcome of that, that's basically swung a full mark all told. .485, .471, spares under Douglas's and Holbrook's name. Maria subs with the ability to double their advantage here. Aaron Spiller for Horseman and the 10-pin. Ryan Cox. High single 195, high triple 508, high 5 705. Peaked out at a 125 average, and he's got a spare here. 84 plus. They'll need 3 more marks, basically, I would estimate. So Spiller's going to want to protect against this. As the second ball gets away. And a great out. 5 becomes 9. Always note those third balls. You never know which one will be the difference. 100 through 9. It happened just then when Baker swung twice as many pins as expected, and now Spiller prevents Abel from doing that just now. Another set of matches, another trio of 3-string matches starting tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Atlantic. Separate stream on Candlepin Bowling Network. This match started in the middle of, at the very tail beginning of this, but with a few frames cut off, we will have this recording in full, probably after Worlds. Cox drops 9. That's on a spare. Not for Spiller, but it gives him an opportunity to aim at a single of his own.
That brings the deficit to 4 in the string for Abel, down 35 in the match. Still has a chance for total and a bunch of marks.
Cox 19 and another. Can Spiller respond? Yes. Wood covers.
3 spares to 1 from Maria Subs, trying to get 7 points. They tied the first. They won the second by 31. Up 4 in the string, 35 in the match.
504 to 500. Left division, lower division coverage as well. Division 1, I guess it's called. It used to be called left division. That's neither here nor there. Division 2 is here. Cox. Here goes the 10-pin. And the fill is 10 and the string is 113. Aaron Spiller, 6 more, 116. And again, we saw the power of Western Massachusetts bowlers at the ICBA Championship, and here's yet another one.
That ties the string, but 2 spares to none from Maria Subs. You have the upper hand right now. 8 boxes to go.
Exactly, 5-10 apiece.
Tomorrow morning, New England Flooring against Drywall Concepts, second match. Prosperity U against A-Plus Accounting, a Canadian affair, followed by Academy Lanes and Lucky Strike.
Oh, really? That's the last match?
Tomorrow.
Academy Lucky?
Tomorrow.
6 pins drop
You
out.
guys got lucky.
Friday with Oakland Park opening up the first match with Abel. The final match, Avon Valley Lane, Central Park Lane schedule. That could change.
Douglas adding on with one of those spares and immediately replaces it with a strike.
For first place
Another 20 bucks.
Unless Maria's does something crazy.
123 plus 2 through 9. The response from Murphy is for a 10 bucks, I beg your pardon. That's well worked out of the split though. 10 pins plus 2 marks, Maria Subs. Action's getting rowdy on the lanes to our right. That's quintessential Worlds. Here goes the 8-pin. And Murphy gets a strike. There's that response. Douglas with a strike of his own. He'd love to throw a strike. What a time that would be. 1, 2, and 7. If he runs this down, there'd be another 20 box. It would be the 4th such for Douglas. And we'll put Maria's subs significantly in front. He's got it. 1, 2, 7. 143 in a ball. Incredible pickup for a bowler, I believe that was on Hatchetman, Rich Lamoni's squad previously. Now Murphy on a strike, can't connect with a double. Last ball is coming on up for each. Douglas, 143 plus 2 more, 145. His triple, 376. And still the pins crumple here. Keep an eye on that. That strike field upgrades all the way to 9. Glen Murphy, 124, and a 3-string total of 351. Craig Holbrook, Lucas Nickerson. Holbrook on a spare, the last remaining one for either side. Well, they're starting to anxiously pace there. They know the stakes are starting to increase the deeper we go into this round robin. Holbrook, not his best spare fill. That'll go for 3. 106 through 8. Check mark. And the 7-pin ringing around. Boy, 3, 5, and 10. A lot of thin angle hits here. Trying to bid on that like it was an auction, I suppose. Trying to have a go at that spare. Very straight as an arrow as the crow flies. Nickerson takes 9. Holbrook runs down the horseman perfectly and picks up 1 rather than losing 3. 17 pins extra for Maria's. Located in Scituate, Massachusetts. And Able, formerly known as Able Construction. 565, 548. 17 pins, no marks standing. It's away. Pin skids to a halt here. I don't think it's going to generate anything more. Holbrook digs in. Ball tails away. 5 and 8. Cluster of 7. Looks like almost a guide ramp back there. I can't tell actually if that's behind the 5. You could take a look at that on the pin cam up top. Right through the middle. That's a gutting one. In multiple sense of the word, pun not really intended. Holbrook drives the flank through, never a doubt really. 126 plus.
Travian.
And an 8. A 108 through 10. Plus 19. Holbrook staying up to fill that 10th. He has, well, the player slot has 3 strikes and 6 spares. That's when he swapped around and substituted in fact, actually. So a great substitution, and we were wondering, is Holbrook too injured to bowl? Judge for yourself. Have an 8 fill and a 134. Who's to say that's not painful? But the result is tremendous. 583 to 556. Shawn Bernard, S-H-A-W-N Bernard.
Stopper, Jay.
Swapped in. It's been a pretty good substitution there. Ooh, and there's a strike right on cue.
Hey, buddy.
His first one, I believe.
Here we go. Finish big.
1, 2, 4, and 10. Fuller Jr. Outside on the headpin, here comes Cavalry, but it goes off. Takes a wrong turn. So 1 pin extra and 27 pins still to the good, minus 1 extra strike for Shawn Bernard. 593, 566. Total seems pretty well in Maria's camp, so they should come away with the majority of the points here. So that 2 for total. How about the 2 for the string as well? Seems to be pretty good, but Bernard getting that strike makes it a little less certain. Doesn't even quite require a mark out just yet.
Abel's batted them all 3 strings, just coming up a little bit short. The last 2 strings after coming back to tie the first in the last 2 boxes.
Bernard, 6 out. 4 horsemen left side. And Fuller gets on the headpin. 6 steps into the 10.
The dagger.
Fuller back on track, and there it is.
It's 7 points.
I think you may be right, Paul, in this one.
Able to go 1 and 7 this shift. They're very competitive. Again, last year in the semifinals, they're a force to be reckoned with on a big day tomorrow on Friday.
Plenty of time there. Hey, that's a spare. Speaking of competitive, Shawn Bernard, 127 plus. And again, you had Glen Murphy there with a 124. Just so much firepower from everybody. And if this fill goes well, Spiller's 116 might be lowest on the team for Maria's subs. And I mean, Abel's going to pitch a 600 as well. Bernard the 4 count. At least they really should, presuming Brown at least pins out.
Nice string, 131.
Ooh, Fuller nearly doubles. Nothing was really headed towards the 9 pin, but I got excited all the same.
One more programming note, Greg, before we sign off, after you do the recap here.
You got a 118 for Brian Fuller Jr. So both sides should cross into the 600s here. Looking like a miracle required now for Mike Brown against Shawn Baker.
Reminder, tomorrow morning, first of 3 matches, New England Flooring against Drywall Concepts. Second match, Prosperity U against A-Plus Accounting, defending champions. They won it 5 times already. Academy Lanes, 2-time champion against Lucky Strike, former world champion. Our final match tomorrow.
6 out for Brown. Definitely needs marks, or else this will become nigh impossible. 4 pins. One, 3, 6, 7. Ooh, the headpin just missed the 7. That's a tough one to take. What a bid. Baker's shot's not there for him either as the wood wrecks it. Please subscribe on YouTube. Even through all the earthquakes and tribulations. Nice 10. 10 apiece. Please subscribe on YouTube and hit the bell icon so that you're always in the know when we go live. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Atlantic. 1 more box to go. This should be it. Shawn Baker 8 box will seal it. And that will as well. Paul, you had a note.
No, I already read it. The match for tomorrow. I'm got ahead of the curve for a change. Great job, Greg, as always. Thanks for bailing me out today.
Our pleasure. And thank you all as well. We'll be signing off shortly after this. 3 pins out for Brown.
Please tell your friends about Candlepin Bowling. It's unbelievable sport for almost any age. Please consider Candlepin gift cards this holiday season, all season long. Not just a stocking stuffer, a great gift for any occasion. Birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, any occasion, corporate events. Please invest in Candlepin Bowling and support your local bowling center.
That pin seemed lopsidedly in Maria Sub's favor at the end of the day. I think that was one of the big keys to victory here. About 18 more by my count. That is a fuzzy count, but it's definitely, I think there's little sampling error there. A 6 and a 9. Baker 119, Brown 130, and we go here to take a look. So all the points remaining. Maria subs 4 more, really helping out their playoff chances. Top 5. Each division, this one you see here, and Division 1, which we'll show later on Candlepin Bowling Network On Demand. Top 5 out of each will advance, and that will be that. More round-robin coverage, matches 7 through 9, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Atlantic. Just you've heard me say it several times. I just wanted to make darn sure. So, on behalf of everyone here at Candlepin Bowling Network alongside Paul Grant, my name is Greg Gouillart. Thank you very much for watching this presentation of the World's International Candlepin Championship.